Good morning. Morning, Tyre. Morning, Robin. How you doing this morning, young lady?
Good morning.
And how are you doing this morning, young lady?
Haven't I'm not sure yet. How are you?
Oh, well, honestly, I was hurting a few minutes ago, and I'm sitting here trying to
Oh,
figure out why. Then it dawned on me.
oh no.
I hadn't taken my pills this morning.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were sitting on your stapler or something. I was
No, no,
okay.
the cat got me up at 2:30 this morning.
Oh my God.
He was hungry.
Oh, poor starving baby.
Yeah, poor starving baby. Well, in a way, it was a good thing because I come out. We've got an automatic feeder. It holds 5 feedings worth of food. It
Okay.
just the plate is looks like a lazy Susan with 5 dividers in it, and it just rotates around at whatever time you have it set up to rotate. Well, all 5 feeders were empty.
Wow, what the hell?
So uh, I got up and I fed them. I filled all 5 of them up, right? And I
Okay.
put it back together. He's over there munching. Then it's set up to rotate at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
He's sitting there munching away. Then all of a sudden it rotated on him.
Oh no.
I mean, he got me up at 2:30, and by the time I got over there, it was probably about and got everything set back up. It was probably about 5 minutes or about 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes till 3.
Uh-huh.
But he's sitting there just munching away, having a good old time, and 3 o'clock rolls around and it rotates on him.
Oh no.
And he jumps up and he starts meowing and looking at me
Oh.
like, "What in the heck did you do to me?"
There's a poltergeist in my food dish. Dad, help.
So
Uh,
I said, I got 2 feeders,
okay.
but unfortunately, the one I bought for the dog, the
Oh
kibble's too
no.
big.
Oh no.
So we can't use it. So that means he's got to wait until we actually get out of bed in the morning to get fed.
Well, I mean, if you're just feeding him kibble, why don't you like put it in a Ziploc and then hammer it with like a rolling pin? And I mean, it's an idea. I don't
Well, like this morning, I had some leftover ground beef in the freezer or in the fridge
know.
that I'd browned up. Hadn't seasoned yet; it just browned it up, and so I put a tablespoon of it into warmed it up in the microwave, and
Oh.
then mixed it in with his kibble.
Oh.
And it took him all of about 5 minutes to eat his half a cup of kibble this morning
Oh.
because he liked that ground beef. Hey, morning, Mike. So yeah, he enjoyed that. He got a ball out of that. So he's
Hey,
been playing
Tyler. Hey, Mike.
he's playing fat, dumb, and happy dog now.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
he's
sweet.
where's the cat? I don't know where the cat got off to. He followed me back. The cat followed me back into the bathroom a little bit ago, but he probably jumped up on the bed to lay down to go to sleep.
It's tiring being a cat.
Cats are good for 3 things.
Uh oh.
Okay, eating, shitting, and sleeping.
Hey, hey, hey. He's a good boy. He's just a baby. Don't be like that.
A baby.
All
This
cats
cat.
are babies.
This cat is God. We got him back, and he's 7 years old. Yeah, he's 7 years old already.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would not call that a baby cat. Even though when he was a baby, he was that cat that liked to crawl up on your shoulders to go to sleep.
Oh,
I've got a lot of pictures of him either sprawled out across my forearm or on my shoulders sleeping. Head on one
oh.
side of my neck and his tail on the other side.
The last cat I had, she used to just sit on my shoulder and ride around the house.
But he don't do
She
that
was
no
my
more.
best.
He doesn't come to me unless he wants food or he wants a rough rub, because I'm the keeper of the razor comb that gets rid of all the excess fur and dander.
Oh,
So, when he comes up and lays down on my footstool, that's usually his sign that he wants me to get the comb out and give him a good brushing. So pull up a bunch of fur, take it out, and put it where the squirrels and birds will get it to make their nest. See, I am an environmentalist that way. I don't throw it away. I don't throw away all the fur I collect off these animals. I take it outside where the birds and the squirrels can use it.
that's very good.
But with a cat and I can set music back to the caveman days.
Someone's been watching that movie. Everybody wants to be a cat. I never saw the movie, but that's a cute song. I was watching a video this morning. Someone sent me. Apparently, these animal rescue type people they managed to buy out a testing facility where they tested toxic chemicals on cats.
Oh, that scares me.
But they bought it out and they turned it into a shelter. And this woman adopted one of the cats, and you could see there's footage of her walking through the facility, and the cats are all running up to the bars and trying to get petted and everything. Apparently, and I know the idea is sick, but it was so cute. Apparently, they socialized them as kittens and work with them at an early age to make them affectionate and docile because it's easier to work with them.
Right.
Hold on, where's that? I'm going to send that to you because it was really precious. Oh, I don't have it. I'll find it later. It's really precious. You can use it another day. It was
I'm
just the best thing ever.
with our cat getting as old as he is, and the way the wife dotes on him,
Uh huh.
our wife, our cat and dog, they're both getting up towards the upper lifespans.
Um.
So I'm seriously not getting a puppy, but getting another kitten or two and bringing it into the house. That way, the
Yeah.
wife's got when the older ones cross the Rainbow Bridge,
Oh, I found it.
she'll have another cat to take her mind off of. I'll tell you what, man, I have discovered something that absolutely sucks about getting older,
Which one of the many things?
particularly getting closer to 65 like I am. See, I lose my health insurance when I turn 65, and
Oh no.
I have to go on Medicare. And trying to decide which company to go through,
Yeah.
absolutely sucks
And
because they all are,
yeah.
you know, I've got to make certain that they cover my doctors and then to
Yep.
make certain they cover my medications
Yeah.
and trying to get a straight answer out of any of them. It's like pull you can't do it. you almost want to pull these people up before Congress and
Yeah.
force them to answer these questions, threaten
And
them
you
with
know,
prison
I'm sorry.
sentences if they don't.
My number, I'm not the first person to have this phone number that I currently have. So I've been getting a lot of calls for this guy that had the number previously. Yeah, I'm getting the Medicaid calls. First, I was getting hospital calls because he wasn't making his appointments. Now I'm getting the Medicare calls, and they're all, before I can even ask who they're calling for, they're all about they're doing their spiel or whatever, and they all sound identical.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll sit and ask them questions, but they don't give me straight answers. They just want me to agree to sign up. And it's not straight Medicare, it's part B or part this or part that,
Right.
or they're part of a clinic, or, they're not giving me any answers. They want me to agree to shit on the phone. It's really predatory.
And the cost is my cost is almost quadrupling.
Yeah.
No, it is quadrupling at the minimum.
There's no fixed
And
price with this stuff.
and it more likely will go up almost 7 times is what I'm figuring. The cost of my insurance is going to go up over what I'm paying right now,
It's fucking
which
terrible.
absolutely sucks.
It does.
Because you got your budget set up around what you're paying now, and knowing in a
Yeah.
few months your
It's gonna,
budget, for the past year I've been redoing my budget, planning on this happening.
yeah.
But the closer and closer it gets to actually happening, the more and more it's like I'm dreading it.
I know.
But anyway, let's get to some of this fun stuff here.
Okay, I did put the
Okay.
link for that in your private chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Found it. Yeah.
Well, all right. We'll hold that towards the end for some fun stuff.
It's very cute.
As the palate cleanser for the day.
It's a good plan.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't want this one yet. I thought I had that moved all the way to the back, but I didn't. All right. Let's see here. Old Biden this week.
Oh,
Well,
God.
old Biden this week, he finally admitted he could actually do something with the border. After when he first came into office, remember, he signed executive orders stopping all the executive orders that Trump put in and all the arrangements and treaties and such that Trump had put in dealing with people crossing at the southern border. Biden on his first day, he signed at least 3 different EOs ending everything that Trump had in. And then he's been whining ever since that he needed Congress to act in order to get anything done on the southern border. He absolutely needed Congress to act because he couldn't do anything on his own. Well, he finally decided that, I can do something on my own. And he signed in an executive order.
Oh, my God.
Biden said he needed Congress's help to shut down the border. Now he's doing it anyway. Now, this was 2 days ago.
And this isn't something he just discovered, okay?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
He just discovered that he could do this.
And he discovered it just in time for
the elections in 5 months.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's not all that great because the border doesn't shut down until 2030. 2,500 people crossed the border illegally that day.
Wait, wait. Are you saying 2,500 people have to cross the border that day, or it's just timing, or
Illegally crossed the border that
no?
day.
No, I'm saying, are you saying they have to close? They have to have that head count that day before they'll close it down, or
Before it's closed down for that day.
so they're not going to
And
close it until they get 2,500 people?
then the next day it starts all over again.
Oh my God! So they're going to allow? Okay, I see what you're saying. It's not. They're not going to physically complete it. They're actually letting 2,500 people a day come in.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake! And this is where I think the things that I'm not allowed to see on YouTube unless I have the FBI calling me again. So I know that's not being cute. I've had issues with the FBI, so not
but you know,
yeah.
but you know, uh, right here it is. Biden issued directives Tuesday that compels the U.S. to turn away migrants who do not enter the country through legal ports of entry anytime unlawful crossings hit an average of 2,500 people a day in a given week.
You know, I read something like this months ago, but I thought it was bullshit. And now, no, it's not bullshit. Okay.
It's not. The temporary measures remain in place until such crossings dip below an average of 1,500 people a day.
Why do I always think, no, that's crazy. That's not reality. And then it's fucking reality. I'm like, fuck.
So
It
what?
just sounds insane.
We can still have 2,000 people a day cross the border illegally, and the border's going to stay wide open.
Okay, but you know what? If the president is holding the door open like you do at the grocery store, is it really illegal?
Exactly.
I mean, at that point, they're legally just invading us and they're just not documented yet. So, I mean, it's, oh my God. You know what? I feel like I'm in the hospital and in some weird coma and my body's trying to wake up, and this is what I hit before I can wake up. Like this weird ass fucking delusional dream sequence that I need to get through because this can't be fucking real. I'm sorry.
It's and that's why I got today's title the way I have it. People are talking, questioning, whining, and lying.
Well, they've always been lying. You know how it
All
is.
right,
I just,
because
fucking
yeah.
real.
Now we all remember Miss AOC in her pure white outfit, wearing them white jeans that showed off her butt so well,
Yeah,
whining
right.
and crying at the fence where all the illegals were held, except it was an
Um,
empty parking lot,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I never actually went to the border. Just cried in a fucking parking lot.
So she got asked questions afterwards after Biden did this.
I
She
wonder if the
yeah.
kids are still in cages.
I wonder if the Obama cages are still up.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That was him.
here's AOC's response to this.
I don't know.
Are
Do you
you
think it's
concerned
gonna
about the
backfire
Biden?
with some Democrats that might not want to vote for him now because they don't like what he's doing on the border?
I wouldn't go that far, but I think the deal is like we want to do things that actually solve the problem. And to me, solving the problem is expanding the path to citizenship and for people to actually be able to be documented and follow the rules. And this doesn't necessarily help us to that end.
Is the president making a mistake here?
I mean, I don't think it's really about a mistake or a non-mistake. This
It
is
kind of is, though.
And if we want to solve the problem and issues of people not being able to enter the United States in a documented and orderly fashion, what we need to do is making a documented entry into the United States possible. And
It already is.
Okay, I want to stop it right here for a second with that comment of hers.
It already is possible.
There are ports of entry all
Yeah.
along the southern border. Multiple places, ports of entry, that people can legally cross the border. Plus, we've got embassies
Yeah.
in every country that people can go into and plead their case if they want to look for refugee status or something along those lines, or to get a visa to legally cross the border.
I can't do this.
Okay? So it's not that it's difficult to legally cross the border. What AOC and her friends want is for us to not have these ports of entries, but just one huge port of entry that runs the entire length of the southern border and northern border, where anybody that wants to enter our country can and can legally do so. That's what they want. And the Biden and crew, see, they're looking at many things here. This is my speculation here. I'm going to speculate, but I don't really think I'm that far off. Biden and others have cheered the fact that white, Caucasians, European descendants are now an absolute minority in the country.
Oh, you mean the ones that don't have Aloha Akbar snack bar things on their tongue and run around, having peaceful protests that,
Right. You know what?
yeah.
The white people are a minority, and that's a good thing because
I don't
white
see.
people don't deserve to be in a majority anywhere. Even in Europe,
Yeah.
they're happy when white
Yeah.
people are a minority in a country.
Not Poland.
Well, no,
Man, they're proud of their shit.
Poland is very proud of their stuff. They have, but they're, if you notice, they're not asking the Middle Eastern countries to accept a bunch of these migrants because the Middle Eastern countries will say not only no, but hell no. They're not asking Japan and China and Korea
Hell no.
because Japan is still a pretty cotton picking Asian. So is
Yeah,
Korea.
they're almost as
Yeah.
xenophobic as Poland. Just saying.
And so is China.
Yeah.
They only want countries, European. If your skin is paler than that brown paper bag, then you don't deserve to be in a majority anywhere. You have to be a minority. And I'm going to come off as a racist here. I know this is going to happen. I'm going to get accused of
You're
being
in
a
good
racist
company. It's fine.
because it's already happened. Hey, Digi, good morning to you.
Hey, Digi.
It's already happened. I've been called a racist. Even though my best, it's that my best friend growing up was a black man. The black family that lived down the road from us, I ate as many meals in their house as I did in my own. I was invited to their cookouts, just like they were invited to ours. Their boys just, it was beat into me to always knock on doors before you entered somebody's home.
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay. But, they didn't particularly, with them, it was knocking open. Me, I knocked until somebody opened it for me.
I'm from New York. Their doors were never fucking open. I mean, it wasn't like I was gonna knock and the door's gonna swing open. I'll be like that kid in the horror movie. Anyone home? No.
Yeah.
People need to go back to locking their doors on reflex. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've locked myself out of my own place because I forgot had my key, didn't have my keys when I left. So yeah, locking doors is huge. It's a huge deal. So, oh wait, we were talking
That
about the border. That too. Yeah.
well, locking the door to your house is no different than locking the door to your border,
You'd be
in my
surprised how many
opinion.
people come home and just leave the door unlocked. I thought it was just a
Well,
horror movie trope. No, it's a thing.
well, see, back in the day, unless we were going on vacation, where we were going to be gone for a week or so at a time, we never, when I was growing up, we didn't lock our doors.
See, and for me, it was the opposite
You
because,
know,
but then again, I grew up in New York, and even though I was in a really nice neighborhood in Queens, like it was like everybody knew everybody, and if somebody from out of town was walking down the street, we start asking them from our window, "Who are you? Where are you from? How long are you staying?"
right?
You know, even if it's just
Well,
somebody going to the train station, we have the info. I always lock my fucking door. It was hammered into me.
I grew up out in the middle of the country. Nearest, like I said, nearest living neighbors were a mile and a half away.
There you go. If they could make it to your house, they were probably too tired to just do anything more than sit on your front step and wait for you to come back.
And the uh, township cops, they average several hundred miles a day on their vehicles, driving all the back roads, looking,
Hmm.
keeping an eye on the farms and such. But then they all knew which farmers were out on vacation because
You tell them.
we were paying other farmers to feed our animals for us.
There you go. That works, yo.
So other farmers were keeping an eye on our farms and such. There was no crime in the worst crime in my hometown just happened to be the perpetrator was the son of the richest man in the township.
Of course.
And he was selling the horse tranquilizers
Oh my God.
to make PCP.
Of course he was.
And he got caught and he was sentenced. He had to do 6 months in jail, but the sheriff brought him to school every morning, picked him up after school every day,
Oh my God.
took him, brought him to school, took him back to the jail every night, and then on the weekends he was spent the whole weekend in the jail.
Oh my God. That must have been horrible for him. Must have
You
been
know,
humiliating.
and that was his junior year in high school.
um, hey, I'm down with that.
Like you said, humiliating as all get out.
Yeah, but that's what works.
And it was only 6 months. So
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it was.
But all his little friends fucking knew.
Oh, the whole school knew what was going on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come
Definitely
on.
made an example out of him.
When the sheriff showed up, when he showed up every morning and was escorted into the school building by a deputy sheriff,
Oh my God.
then a deputy sheriff was waiting for him at the door of his last classroom, his last class every
Oh,
day, to escort him back out to the car and put into the back seat
oh my God.
in
That's good.
handcuffs and taken back to the jailhouse. There was no doubt you knew what was going on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and the principal and the teachers, they said, "Okay, guys, yes, we know what's happening. We all know what's going on.
There's no secrets in a small town.
Right? Keep the harassment to non-existent levels." He he's embarrassed enough. He's being humiliated enough. He's being punished enough. He
Move
doesn't need
along.
he doesn't need anybody else doing anything to him. We want him to get,
Oh.
and he was a straight A student.
Oh.
So, they wanted him to keep his grades up and everything so he could go to college.
Right.
Because while they could have charged him with felonies, they only charged him with misdemeanors.
Wow.
So that, they didn't destroy his college chance, his chance
Right.
to go to college or anything. Oh, now I've done that, Tyre. I have to turn around and go back to the house because I'm horrible about, especially if I know I'm just running down to the Winn-Dixie and coming right back. I'm horrible about not locking my front door.
Oh my God. Even now?
Even now, because I'll forget.
Dude.
I'll forget to lock my front door.
Oh my God. Don't, man. What about your wife?
No, she's just well, I'm usually home, but my wife is, if she doesn't at night, if she doesn't physically see me double lock the front door, she'll go
Uh,
behind me to double check it.
good girl. I'm sorry, but
She is absolutely OCD over locking doors.
and that's exactly how she should be.
So even though she sleeps with her 38 right next, or 380 rather, right next
Oh
to
my God.
her,
I'm loving her more and more.
she's got a 380 and a flashlight right next to, on the bed stand right next to her side of the bed. Well, I
Beautiful.
mean, I've got my 9mm, my flashlight right next to, on my nightstand. So, because
Oh,
they're in my immediate vicinity, everybody's cool, no problems. But about a quarter mile away, that's there's been a couple of people that aren't so cool.
okay.
you know, that have
Hey.
they moved in after we moved in, and
They're kind of sketchy.
then yeah, there's a little bit on the sketchy side. But anyway, you're right, Tyre. He definitely learned his lesson.
Oh, yeah.
He did his 6 months. He pulled straight A's. He had plenty of study time. Uh,
Oh,
he lost about 15 pounds over those 6 months because
oh,
jail food isn't exactly what he was used to.
damn.
He said he got diarrhea 3 or 4 times during that six
Oh, that's
months
horrible.
because the food just did not agree with him.
That's horrible.
Well, I mean, he was used, like I said, his daddy was the richest man in the township,
Oh,
so he was
man.
he was used to eating pretty high on the hog.
Oh,
I mean, now while I grew up on the opposite end of that financial scale, we still ate good, but then
yeah.
that's because we grew up on a farm. We
Yeah.
had our beef and pork. We had our fish and chickens and pheasant and rabbit and frog legs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that. Food is
But
food, but
you know, we had all of our fresh veggies, frozen veggies, and canned veggies.
yep.
So I want the if I had anything to complain about when it come to food when I was growing up was, and in a way, I wish it still was this way. Pizza was a very, very rare and special treat item in our house. to have
Mhm.
pizzas. And the Knights of Columbus was the place we always got. My mom always got them from, and they were delicious pies.
Oh my God, we had the Knights of Columbus in our neighborhood too.
Do they make pizzas?
No, but they
Oh,
had these potluck, not potluck, whatever, these big dinners every once in a while we'd go to because
yeah,
for whatever reason they were celebrating somebody getting inducted or,
right.
that kind of thing.
And Ma- and McDonald's was a special treat. That was about once a month we got to stop in at McDonald's. But
Oh
that's
my
only if we
God.
that was only if we were good when we if everybody one of all five of us kids was good when we spent the day shopping with my mother.
McDonald's was like, oh
That
my
was
God,
the
that was super rare. Shit.
that was the rare treat for putting up with going through Kroger and all the other stores with my mom and not making her mad at us. So I
Damn.
still don't eat McDonald's. I stopped in about a week or so ago and had a McCrispy sandwich, their chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Had the
It's
one
so
at the
overpriced though now.
oh yeah, I mean it was like $8 just for the chicken sandwich, and that's all I got was the chicken sandwich.
That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I don't do You know what? The one thing that I liked at McDonald's, they canceled it. So, and their coffee isn't as good as it used to be. So I'm not real motivated to go in there anymore.
Now my
So
sister likes going to Arby's when they have the fish sandwiches.
I never liked Arby's either.
So
I liked Wendy's because it tasted fresh. But other than that, nah, man.
the only thing I like at Wendy's is their frosty.
Weirdly, I don't like their Frosty. I just like their burgers, man. They got really good burgers.
Oh,
And they're chili. Oh my God, the Wendy's chili?
oh, you know how they
Dude,
make their chili, don't you?
I don't care. I fucking know. And I'm like, you know what? I eat leftovers. I give no fucks. And I want
That's
more.
it's a leftover burgers from the day before.
Hey, they're not wasting it. It's good for the environment. I know you had leftovers just like I did. So,
I had
hey,
I had leftovers for lunch the other day.
there you go.
Correction, I had leftovers for breakfast this morning.
There you go.
I
We
had
eat
some left.
leftovers here too. No
I
shame.
had some leftover taco meat and some
That's
leftover.
what I'm making this afternoon.
Had some leftover out of uh, fire smoked tomatoes and some mushrooms. So I warmed all that up in the skillet, then cracked a couple of eggs over top of it,
Yup, we've done that too.
and then
That's some
melted
good
some
shit.
cheese across the top of that.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Made a heck of a breakfast.
Oh my God. Yes. I do that. Now, sometimes I'll boil a potato and chop it up and fry it and then put the taco meat in. Because when I make the taco meat, sometimes I make the rice with it and some orzo
Right.
along with and it's so fucking good. But next day I'll brown some potato and throw that in with it and fry it all up and put it in burritos for my boy. He got a taco breakfast burrito.
They
Yeah.
used they
Mm.
used any burger that was burnt or overcooked. Yep, that's what they use in their
It
chili.
never tasted burnt.
That
If I'm not saying it wasn't happening, I'm just saying it was really good. It never tasted burnt.
it's good chili. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah. And I don't need for my mouth to be on fire to enjoy chili because I want to taste those spices.
Yep,
So that's
but
the one thing I don't like in anything. If food is so fucking hot, you can't taste the spices in it. Nah. And I know some Indian restaurants or really good Mexican restaurants, people say they're good, but they really up that chili powder and lower the spices they're using. Just saying.
when I go to the Indian restaurant here in downtown, uh, I always ask for the Indian menu when I walk in. They actually have two menus,
Oh,
one for white people and one for
yeah.
Indians.
I'm. I might. I tell them that too. I might make it for white people because I'm not down with that. They just laugh and they do it. But yeah, yeah. Screw that. I'm no. I want to taste my food. I don't want my food tasting me. And then I caved and I did the one thing I said I was never gonna do. I bought a crock pot this morning.
Okay. Yeah. If I mute myself, I'm expecting a delivery of a refrigerator today. Is
Oh,
one of these things where they're saying they could deliver between 6 in the morning and 6 at night,
oh,
and they're going to call sometime.
yeah. Yours
And
wasn't like broke down or anything, was it? Because you never
no,
mentioned that.
no, no. The wife wanted a refrigerator for in the garage.
That makes sense. Okay.
So it's only 11 cubic foot. It's not a huge refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. According to the delivery tracker, they're still 13 stops away,
Oh my God. Well,
and
at least you have
that's
kind of a.
and they were 13 stops away at 6 o'clock this morning. And here
Refresh
it
it.
is, a quarter till 10, and they're still 13 stops away.
Refresh your tracker.
I have
Really? Oh, honey, I don't even know.
home. Home Depot's tracker is not
Oh, yeah.
it's not the best thing in the world.
No, no, it really is not.
So anyway, Ms. AOC here and the Democrats, they just want our borders wide open.
Of course you do.
They want anybody and everybody to come in, and like I was going to say, what they're looking for here with this is they're looking for new, because the Democrats are losing a lot of the black vote.
Yeah,
They're not getting the 90%, they're only getting 75% of the black vote. Well, that 10-15% drop in the black vote is really hurts the Democratic Party.
it isn't just that though. It's a lot of the minorities, or at least the Latin ones here. A lot of them are the old school ones. They're business owners. They're Republicans now, and they have
Right.
been for a long time because they want to take care of their money and their families and shit. So they were.
Well, what's hurting the Democrats with this black, on this is because they brought in so many illegals,
Yeah,
like into Detroit and New York. The black folks that were sitting there saying, "Wait a minute, you closed my school down to put illegals in?
well, that's
You
my
close,
job. Yeah.
you're closing that you're reducing our government handouts
Hmm.
and giving them to illegals."
Our park had to shut down because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, uh, and again, this is where I'm going to get myself in trouble. And I'm going to get myself into trouble a lot today
No,
with
you're
on this
not.
stream. Okay, you hear women say a lot. You'll hear some women say, not all, some. Okay, uh, men are so used to being privileged that when just being equal seems to be a loss of privilege. Okay,
Hmm.
you hear them say that about men. You hear them say that about you'll hear people say that about white people. This white privilege crap. Well, whites are so used to having it this way that when somebody else is getting it, it feels like they're losing their
They're
privilege.
stealing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is what's happening in a lot of these areas to the black people.
Yeah.
to the black in the black neighborhoods is they were so used to having the uh, all these benefits that now they are actually losing those benefits to illegals,
Yeah.
and they're upset about it.
Of course they are.
And you can't blame them. You can't
I
blame them
don't.
for
I'm
being.
right there. Hey, I'm right there with them.
You know, I'm not saying they're wrong for being upset. I'm not saying that.
No, no, I am one step away from fucking poor. So yeah,
You
I
know,
hear it.
it
Yeah.
you know, and AOC and the Democrats like AOC who are saying they want to bring in even more people into this country.
Oh God.
You know,
Between that and sending money out of the country, they're fucked.
right? And this is one time where the banner headline, "Women and minorities hurt the worst," is going to be true.
Yeah.
Because the benefits, the extra money that was going to white women, minorities, and black women uh, are being taken away from them and given to the illegals. So, anyway, but see, if the media is not helping at this at all. All right.
Nope.
Now, it's been a while since I've done anything with Newsbusters. All right. They're a very conservative group that looks at the news organizations, at the actual news reporting for bias.
Okay.
Okay. The regime media helps pushes Biden's border EO fake shutdown narrative. Now, we already know it's a fake shutdown. You can tell that by the fact that, you know, the border doesn't shut down unless it averages 2,500 people a day for a week.
Right.
Okay. And so right there tells you that the border is not being shut down. When looking at how the regime media report on any given issues today, you can be certain that the truest, purest victim of any calamity today is always going to be the electoral prospect of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. There are no other rationale for the underlying ridiculous and servile coverage that President Biden's executive order on the border. Amongst the network news, there are none more servile than ABC. Here's how they open up their newscast by making certain that the viewers heard the term shutdown as often as possible. All right. Then it goes through the actual newscast here. ABC made certain the term shutdown got in the report 3 times, in addition to similar terms such as close the border and strictly limit. Of course, the executive order does no such thing, as much it codifies a daily average of 2,499 illegal crossings before the shutdown takes in effect. And then there is the loophole for women and unaccompanied minors. So women and unaccompanied minors aren't included in that 2,500 count.
Wow.
Only men.
Why would we let an unaccompanied minor in this country?
It's children.
No, the children need to be with their parents. I don't believe in splitting up families. You know, get DNA test and whoever's bringing them in.
The children would be so much better with their uncle or third cousin or fifth cousin here in this country than with their parents in their country.
You know what it is.
Yeah, we all know what it is.
And you know, I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna use a word that really isn't allowed here.
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, but they tried to break was it Elian Gonzalez away from his father all those years ago. He wanted his kid back, and they're like, no, it's just Castro telling him to say that he doesn't want his kid.
Right.
So they wanted to keep him with uncles and cousins he had never met before.
Where is that picture? Here we go. That infamous image here.
Which one?
That one.
Hold on a minute. Get out of the kitchen. Don't start hitting the fridge. My kids are running around.
Ah.
Oh, I remember
should,
that.
huh?
They vilified Janet Reno over that one.
Yeah, remember. That's Elian Gonzalez right there as a
That poor
baby.
kid. Yeah. He was like 4 or 5, I think. Yeah,
You're right.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, there's that infamous image. So let's see. I don't need the AOC there. All right, CBS Evening News abstained from using the hyperbole during their team coverage. All right. Wasn't that? Oh, did I accidentally? Yeah, I accidentally hit a link. So the network, so they really went along. Okay, a common theme throughout the blaming the Republicans for Biden's have to sign the EO without also knowing that Biden ripped the border open with executive orders. Remember, his first day in office, Biden signed multiple, he signed, I think they said 69 plus executive orders his first day, countermanding Trump's executive orders. And this is where the Republicans pissed me off.
What?
Not a single Republican got up there and filed a lawsuit that, because remember when Trump tried to use an executive order to end Obama's executive order on DACA.
Oh, yeah.
The Democrats and liberals took him to court, and he lost the court case saying that he didn't do it correctly.
Yep.
Okay, he didn't go a proper way to end DACA, even though DACA was started with an executive order, not through congressional action.
Right.
So the Republicans should have, and this is where the Republicans always piss me off. They never take the crap to court.
No.
Like the Democrats do. The Democrats fight tooth and nail in the court system to get what they want.
Nope.
The Democrats are not, and I don't like that. I don't think it's right that we use the court system for legislative purposes. That wasn't what the courts were there for.
Turn it down.
But that's what they've become. Thanks to the Democrats the Democrats love to say that the Republicans have got the activist judges.
Oh, Lord.
Well, it's only activist judges when something happens in the court system to overturn something that Democrats got done through the court system.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the media, we all know, is well behind. Well, you notice that the Democrats, for when it comes to Trump now, it's convicted felon Trump. It's no longer ex-president Trump or former President Trump.
Of course
It's
not.
It's even the media is calling him
Yeah.
it's convicted felon Trump.
Like, that's the only person I've ever heard of they're calling convicted felon so and so.
Right.
Come on.
But see, now other people are taking it one step further and going felon 45.
It's not even that implies there were 44 felons in front of him, which I wouldn't say that there were 44, but there were definitely a few. They just didn't get charged.
Right.
Whatever, man.
There's probably at least 30 of them that should have been
Oh, definitely.
felons, but
We
under
know.
the statutes brought up now somebody mentioned something the other day that I have not had time to research.
Okay.
All right. The basis on Trump's conviction there is that the listing of the that $1,500 or $15,000 or $150,000, however much it was, to the porn star, to Stormy.
Yeah.
That it was listed in the books as legal fees.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
In order to prevent it from having, in order to prevent the expenditure of that money from having a influence on the election. All right. Now the election is in November. Am I
Yeah.
not right? Presidential elections are always in November.
Right.
I have not had time to verify this, so let's just call this a rumor. Because, like I said, I have not independently verified it. Supposedly, those entries weren't made until January, 2.5 months after the election. So, how could those entries have been made in order to influence the election if the entries weren't made until after the election? Do you realize this won't unite the fractured Democratic Party or will unite the Republicans? Yeah, time traveling entries. I'm not understanding your question there, Tyre. The Democratic Party has just become fractured over Biden and his executive order. This is their fracture. They weren't really that fractured before, badly, except amongst those that felt Biden actually is suffering dementia. And people are, and see something else here too. Remember, the Democratic Party. They screwed up with their nomination process, and now they're having to backtrack because they screwed up, and they're having to backtrack some stuff in order to be on Ohio's ballot. Now, if they nominate, and this is going to be interesting, or if this is going to end up something like what happened with Mendez and the Torricelli back in New Jersey years ago. Torres, if I remember right, Torricelli. No, it wasn't Mendez. It was somebody else that stepped in. But Torricelli was forced to step out of the race because he got the Torricelli he's either arrested or convicted of some crimes during an election years.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it happened after the ballots had basically already been made up for the in 2003. All right, in September 2002, Torricelli ended his Senate re-election campaign after being admonished by the Senate in connection with campaign finance scandal. And he ended up having to drop out. Well, when he dropped out, the they had nobody. Democrats had nobody put on the ballot, and they had to go to the courts, and the courts decided, well, the Democrats have to have somebody on the ballot whether they got nominated or not. So the Democratic Party of New Jersey was able to handpick somebody to run. So, yeah, it was a really serious whole sets of issues there that caused. Oh, wait a minute here. Shortly thereafter, the New Jersey National Democrat could legally replace. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's Frank Lautenberg. Okay, I'm back. I've got that back asswards. Frank Lautenberg was the one that had to drop, and Torricelli was put on the ballot. So I was back asswards there. So Torricelli was put on the ballot through judicial activism, through judicial decree. Now, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is if Biden somehow, some reason has to, after all the nominations and the DNC party and everything goes through, and Biden falls off the ticket for some odd reason, what are they going to do? You know, are they going to get the Supreme Court to rule that a person who did not receive the nomination gets to be put on the ballot, just so the Democrats can say they've got somebody on the ballot?
I don't know, man.
To give a choice? I mean, you see this whole can of worms I'm envisioning happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is something that's never happened at the presidential level before.
Yeah, it's worrying.
And the Democrats, they like I said, they are coming very close to losing out, being able to put Biden on the Ohio ballot. I talked about that law last week or the week before. And now they're talking about doing a Zoom call nomination process to get Biden on the ballot in time, nominated in time to be on the Ohio ballot.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're going to do a virtual nomination thing to have it done in time to meet Ohio's law.
I mean, come on. Y'all had the mail-in ballots. Wasn't that enough? Now you got to do this? Come on. Seriously, though. I mean,
well, see, they thought they could bully Ohio into changing its law. And Ohio basically told the DNC to go stuff it. Which surprises the hell out of me that happened.
Hey, sis, people
I want to get this James O'Keefe thing in because it is dealing with the media and what's going on. But I also want to make certain that I get the Senate hearings in too.
You can
So
run a little long. Get the James O'Keefe in first, because
yeah,
I
I'm
love
getting ready
him.
to do James O'Keefe now. James O'Keefe, since he got kicked out of Project Veritas, he started up his own system,
Mhm.
O'Keefe Media Group, OMG.
Ah, I love it. Okay, that's
Oh,
beautiful, man.
okay. And he's still doing the undercover work.
You gotta love him.
All right. Well, he managed to get in with, and that's why I had O'Keefe over top of the Good Morning America logo this morning
Oh,
on the
okay.
thumbnail, because they got the one of the producers undercover for Good Morning
Oh,
America. And what this man's got to say is amazing.
Very overwhelmingly has a liberal bias.
The right wing people.
Yeah, those kinds of people are not necessarily based in reality in the media.
Okay, did you catch what it, the audio is kind of bad here.
you got the. I. Can you rewind that so I can read the subs? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, the truth.
Biden didn't do anything
Very
wrong.
overwhelmingly has a liberal bias.
The
Oh,
media
yeah.
very over. This is their producer saying
So they're admitting what we already knew. Thank you for the
right,
confirmation.
saying the quiet part out loud.
Mhm.
All right,
Your validation is
now
always welcome.
he's talking about Republicans.
The right wing people.
Yeah, those kinds of people are not necessarily based in reality.
Oh,
Right
yeah. It's
wingers
so
are
funny
not.
though. It's so funny though. Everything that we've been saying all along is coming true. It's being revealed as it's been true all along. Like Fauci and the vaccinations weren't real and all this other shit. Yeah, yeah. But we were the paranoid ones.
Yeah, we're the ones who weren't based in reality.
We're the ones our heads weren't wrapped on too tight. We're a bunch of crazies. Yeah, bullshit. Okay.
What are they based in?
Ideological dogma,
Yeah,
bigotry,
yeah,
Hatred.
yeah, hatred.
ignorance.
So I am based in. I am based in bigotry, hatred, and ignorance.
Aren't we all? I
I'm
mean,
an ideological dogma.
Avenue Q, a really formerly great musical, used to say, "Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes." You know,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a whole fucking song. It was great.
Ignorance. They'll like try to infiltrate news or whatever and say like, oh, we're gonna cut footage out of context to like.
Ah, come on.
So
Okay. Now it's funny that he brings up cutting things out of context.
Nick Sandman.
I just have to go no further. I mean, I just go back to my Newt Gingrich
There you
and the
go.
wither
Anything
on the
really.
vine comment, where Newt Gingrich had said that. Let's see here. Let me pull this up.
Okay. I just want to apologize real quick. You're going to hear me spraying.
Oh, okay.
The neighbors are smoking. It's usually cigarettes. At least during the day, it's cigarettes. At nighttime, it's not cigarettes. I really wish they'd either get a hobby or a job that isn't smoking, but hey, it is what it is. You're gonna have to hear it because I have allergies and I don't want to fucking die smelling this shit. So, yeah.
Okay. Back in 1995, Newt Gingrich made the assertion about what would happen to Medicare if its beneficiaries could choose between
Oh,
it and private plans. Medicare is going to wither on the vine because we think people are going to leave it voluntarily. All right. Well, the media and Democrats, they just cut his statement there to Medicare is going to wither on the vine, and using that scare tactic in order to convince seniors that Newt was going to get rid of Medicare and not have anything else available.
Right. Because, that's what you do.
So you want to talk about people editing statements in order to use it for political purposes. Damn, that was way back then.
Yep.
1990. Wow. I mean, because I remember that like it was. I wasn't even graduate. I mean, well, no. 1995, man, that's a long time ago.
It doesn't feel like it, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I mean, I remember getting in the online arguments over that.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, God, I remember the arguments over that. So anyway, the undercover journalist is asking the GMA producer Nick Cerrone if we're just right-wing crazies.
They're right-wing crazy.
Oh yeah. They'll like secretly record people and take things out of context.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, he's sitting there getting a recording music. I love this. But we're not taking it out of context. He's finishing his sentences, y'all. So, yeah. Oh, my God. I love this so much.
Talk about, painting, just that chef's kiss moment. He knows that people get recorded secretly. And it's been no secret that O'Keefe, uses women and men alike and dating apps. He's used Grindr to get stuff from gay men involved in different fields.
It's all good. I mean, who cares what you're doing in bed as long as it's not illegal or hurting anybody?
As long as it's two consenting adults and nobody ends up in the hospital, I don't care.
There you go. Okay, and then the fan goes on because fuck those cigarettes. Sorry. There we go. Is that too loud?
And then what?
Well, release it and say, "Oh, this person said this," and look how bad.
And it is being released now. Your own secret undercover.
What's his name?
I forgot his name. James something.
James something. What is he doing now?
I don't care.
What would you say to someone like James? Like, if you ever run into him,
I'd probably ignore him.
You don't care about him at all. You think he's irrelevant?
I think so.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We always hear the mainstream media is.
You could hear the smile on her face when she was asking him this shit at the end. You could hear it.
Definitely.
Oh, I love this woman.
All right. Now, here we go. Now they're going to talk about the show.
Oh.
Okay. And his job at the show. And there's James O'Keefe right there. Man, he has been around. You remember what he looked like when he first started?
He was a skinny little guy.
ABC's Good Morning America.
So I work in booking for GMA. We're solely focused on getting the guests interviews for the show.
Is Nick a news guy or a purveyor of opinion and propaganda? Well, here's a little preview.
Exactly.
The truth
Biden didn't do anything
very
wrong.
overwhelmingly has a liberal bias.
Truth has an overwhelmingly liberal bias? Really? Let's dig deeper into this Good Morning America producer. Our undercover journalist met Nick on the dating app Bumble. According to his dating profile, Nick is a single dog dad, newsman, and he'll cook for you. And of course, he's liberal.
kind
Never
of way.
met
We're not
liberal man who was a good
partisan.
cook. I'm sorry. No, it's true, man. And you know what? That thing is something that's recent. Women are saying they want a man that can cook because it's sexy or whatever. It is. But aside from the point, he's just using what he hears and piecing it on his Tinder, whatever. Fuck it. Okay. Chat, if the fan is too loud, just give a yell in the chat and I'll turn it down or I'll mute or whatever.
Actually, I don't hear your fan.
Okay, it's behind me this time. 'Cause I'm fat. I'm sweaty. There was something in the chat. How does this guy not realize this chick is filming him, Mike? The size of these cameras, she could have it in a pen and have it in her shirt, like in her jacket, like in a pocket.
It could be in a pair of glasses she's wearing.
It could be literally in anything. These cams are so small now. And you notice her goal isn't really, oh, she does have his face. Okay, because there were a couple of times she went, his face disappeared, but whatever. Yeah, there it's so advanced now, it's insane. What the level of surveillance stuff we have now that is available to the average citizen is the stuff that they used in spy movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
You look at all those old James Bond movies or Agent whatever movies, and they have stuff in pens and everything. We have that commonly now. We use it in our homes to spy on the nanny.
Yeah, I know people. Fortunately, I can speak for the hotel I work at. We don't have this issue.
Oh, thank God.
But I know there was one hotel there. It wasn't ours, but it was a mom and pop place. And the reason why I know about it is they got caught by the police, or they got caught and they ended up somebody ended up in jail over it. They had cameras set up in the pointing to the bed in the alarm clocks.
Yeah.
They had camera set up in front of the vanity mirror, the full length vanity mirror.
Yep.
And they had a camera set up inside
bathroom?
Inside the shower head.
Wow, that now for it to be in water and still work, that's fucking amazing. I never would have even predicted that. I would have said bathroom, but not in the shower head. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was in the shower head. So yeah, they had some cameras set up, and I would hate to think. I mean, they had them in multiple rooms.
My friend, her dad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They had hours of footage of naked people.
Yeah, Airbnbs also do this kind of thing, and it's not for security purposes either. So, yeah, but if you look at the screen, you'll see the vantage. It's like sideways. So she would have had to be holding her phone sideways. But yeah, my friend, she got a wall clock, a little cheap plastic wall clock for her birthday, and she loved it. And it turned out there was a cam in it.
Wow.
He only found out by accident that same day because it kind of blinked. And she caught the blink, and her and her friend took it apart, and they found the camera.
If the wife and I were traveling, or if the wife was traveling, I would spend that money on the little detector thing.
Yeah, they have those too.
For detecting cameras.
I think
detecting cameras and microphones.
Yeah, I think there's an app in your phone. I don't know if it's Android or the iPhone or whatever, but I wouldn't trust it to get everything. I would also get the device. You know what? If you say it, they're in public. There's no expectation of privacy. So, hey, if he was using the full sentences and not cutting stuff out, that's on her. Own your shit.
Oh yeah, O'Keefe has been doing these undercover things like this for years. He's gotten very, very good at it. He's got a lot of people that he's hired people for one-time things. So, and in a lot of states, as long as one person consents, It's legal. Not every state is a two-party or all-party consent state.
Yeah. Well, we're in Florida, so yeah, it's you can't record us illegally, at least on the phone. So
Right. Florida's an all-party consent. That's why the app I had to record my phone calls, they pulled it.
yeah.
They
Wow.
they disabled it.
Who pulled it?
The app manufacturer.
That's weird because I have recording things on my phone. I have Android though, so I don't know what you have.
Yeah, I've
But
got an Android too. The one I had though, that I absolutely loved because it could record my Bluetooth. You know, I use Bluetooth, so it could record my Bluetooth conversations, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And then, uh, right about the time, Bonnier. Right about the time Bonnier's intercepted phone call came into light, where Bonnier and 4 or 5 other House members were talking on, and the tourists just happened to catch it
yeah.
on a scanner and recorded the phone call. And remember, they shopped it around to different Congress people until they finally found that twerp. I want to say he was out of Oregon. He may have been out of California, but it was out, but some sleazy Democrat that paid him for the audio.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That was a pretty big scandal for a while. Bonnier phone call. Do, 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 do. Was it David Bonnier? No. David Bonnier is the Democrat. Crap. Who was the House Majority Leader? Republican. Now you got me.
Sorry.
House Speaker list. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Damn it! They did this. They do this back-ass words. Two. Oh crap! Anyway, what in the hell? What kind of order they got these in? McCarthy, Pelosi, John Boehner, B-O.
Okay.
Okay, I misspelled his name. It's Boehner. Okay, I forgot the E. Anyway, his phone call got intercepted, and it was anyway, just look that up sometime and read about it. John Boehner, phone call interception, because that was a whole scandal in and of itself.
Well, clearly Good Morning America is not biased. So
going to say, and you guys all should vote for Biden because of it. Because that's
Right, not that obvious.
Right, that's not an
Yeah.
appropriate thing for a broadcast news organization to do.
I can only assume that since they give Biden all that positive feel-good TV time, they must roll out the same respect for conservative counterparts as well.
We could talk about that forever because I find like right-wing crazies so fascinating on like a scholarly level.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just like baffled about how they move through life operating on those, on that mindset.
Do you think
So-
they're like? Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'm just kind of baffled. They have to be.
So they're basically propaganda machines.
Yeah, absolutely. Fox News is the biggest.
Are they seriously
there we go.
actively pushing Biden?
Fox
and the
News
left-leaning
hasn't been
ideology?
conservative outlet in a long time.
I mean, the thing about it is that it's plain as day. Even when we're just doing a general segment about him and what he's doing, we don't have to add any spin to it at all because it's plain as day. It's just factually.
But do you guys try to give those stories about how bad Trump is like more airtime so that people know?
I mean, anything he does is going to be newsworthy. A lot of what he does is very clearly bad. So
you guys do
facto, yes. But it's not. It's not as much as our stated goal is doing this to harm.
So where does the actual
I'm trying to get past all the stuff that O'Keefe talks about when O'Keefe is talking, because I don't want to snipe his stream. You know what I'm saying? Like right here. And again, sometimes the truth has a very clear slant in one direction.
The truth has a very clear slant in one direction.
Yeah, so you don't even need to try that hard to paint him in a bad light.
Right.
So to speak. It's already bad.
ABC?
But this is how the media thinks. It's automatic. This is what they think, how they look at it. Let me go ahead and post the link to this
Yeah, I want to watch this in full later.
so you guys can watch it in full,
I'm totally watching this while I do dishes. It's gonna be great.
because it is fun. It is fun. It is fun to watch him,
He
to
sounds
listen
so
to
fucking crazy. I'm not crazy. You're the one who's crazy. Damn.
Exactly. It's we don't have to say bad things about him because everything he does is bad.
And the truth is slanted. He can't help. What the fuck? Truth is not slanted. It's just the truth. Shit. I'm so glad my kids don't watch the news. They'd be so fucking confused.
Oh, well, see, and that's what my wife, she'll sit there and she'll say, and she'll watch the news. Of course, anymore, I leave the room when she turns on the news. It's morphine time.
There you go.
Oh, hey, Shio, glad to see you, man.
Hey, Shiro.
What did the Power Ranger say to his hospice nurse? It's morphine.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'd be saying it too, though. Let's be real. We'd all be saying it.
It's mighty morphine time. Yes. No, they had me on morphine when I was in the hospital, having some intestinal surgery. Had 14 inches of intestines removed,
Jesus, that's a lot.
and they had the IV running into my chest, and it stopped just short of my heart. Right. So when they injected that morphine, man, that thing, boom, it was instantly running through my body.
Damn.
And when I could feel it going down my left arm, and when I reached my wrist, always reached up, took off my glasses, put them over on the nightstand, and the military hospitals, you don't even have semi-private rooms unless you're an officer or top 3 enlisted.
Damn.
Us lobies, we're in rooms where there was 8 of us in our room. And so I just take off my glasses, set over to the side, and say, "Good night, y'all. I'll see you in a couple hours." Didn't matter what time of day it was.
Wow.
that morphine, man, it done a number. But yeah, I could actually feel it traveling down my arm.
Ew.
And like I said, about the time it hit my wrist, that was the I knew the time was over with.
Damn.
All right. So there's the link to that. Just in case somebody wants me to save that link, I won't close that tab.
Thank you.
All right. Now for the fun part. Merrick Garland sat up in front of the House the other day, House Judiciary Committee. And Jim Jordan, of course, chairs the House.
Okay.
So let's take a listen to that. I want now the attorneys that questioned Biden, guy by the name of Hur.
Oh God.
Okay. Questioning Biden over the classified material that they found in his homes. You know, remember stacked up next to his Corvette
Ew.
in the garage. Yeah, really secure there, Biden.
Yeah.
And it had been stacked there since he left the vice presidency.
Wow.
Okay. They released the written quote unquote transcripts. The quote unquote, let me rephrase that, the quote unquote accurate transcripts of the audio tapes taken. But for some reason, the audio tapes themselves have now been classified.
Huh.
And
I wonder why.
And the White House is refusing to release them to the House Judiciary Committee. And there's a lot of questions being asked about this. So,
General, you said earlier today you spoke to the committee's recommendation to the House to hold you in contempt. You said, but we have made clear that we will not provide audio recordings from which the transcripts that you already have were created. You went on to say that certain members of this committee and the Oversight Committee are seeking contempt. You're aware that a majority of this committee has marked up a contempt resolution, aren't you, sir?
Certain members includes the majority, yes.
Now, when you say certain members, okay, I can say, when I say certain people, all right, it's, or, you know, certain people of this group, certain people of that group, certain members of the different group. That's trying to give the indication that very few people who are, for one reason or another, not in the necessarily in the majority, but the ones really pushing super hard for something, be it good or bad. And when he says certain people, that sort of would lead you to believe that he's talking about just a few people, not a majority of a group. I mean, you tell me certain people are trying to think of, are thinking of doing something bad to me, I'm sure not going to think it's everybody that I
Mhm.
know is doing something bad to me. You tell me certain people I work with are mad at me. I'm not going to think everybody I work with is mad with me, or even a majority of the people are mad at me. Am I right, Ramen?
Yeah.
Okay, you know that certain people don't indicate a majority,
Right.
but this is what Garland here is saying.
This committee has marked up a contempt resolution, aren't you, sir?
Certain members includes the majority, yes.
It's a big difference, isn't it, sir? Isn't that significant? The fact that a majority of the committee charged by the Congress to inquire into the grounds for impeaching the President of the United States has marked up a contempt resolution. That's more important than certain members, isn't it, sir?
Majority,
Institutionally, more important.
a majority has sought contempt, yes.
You said that you will not be intimidated. Are you the arbiter?
I'm sorry?
Are you the arbiter, the decider of whether or not those tapes will be provided to this Congress at the subpoena of its committee to investigate the president?
Constitution requires me to protect the separation of powers and our ability to do investigations in the future. It requires me, and the court proceedings make that clear, to weigh whatever interests you have against the interests of law enforcement. The president has asserted executive privilege, and I have not heard a legitimate legislative reason why the audio is insufficient for any purpose, the legitimate purpose.
You know what demeanor.
Since when does the House Oversight Committee have to express an appointee of the president would feel to be a legitimate reason for information? When especially if it's somebody of could you imagine Trump refusing to give something up to a Democrat
And that would never be allowed.
and have his attorney general sit there and say, I just don't feel that the reason you're asking for is legitimate?
You don't need that right now. That bit of evidence you're asking for, you don't really need that.
Right.
Yeah, nah.
You've got the transcripts that we provided you.
Yeah.
We gave you transcripts.
That should be good enough.
Yeah. And how do we know you did not alter the transcript? You did not edit that transcript.
You can trust me.
Yeah. So that's why the House wants the actual audio.
Right. Hey, I get it.
Evidence is, don't you, sir?
I'm sorry.
Demeanor evidence. You know what that is. You sat on the bench for decades. You know
I know what demeanor evidence is.
Okay.
I know what demeanor evidence is.
Why are you
and
acting
I've not
crazy?
been shown any reason why audio evidence of demeanor would make a difference in any legislative purpose.
Well, that's exactly what demeanor evidence is,
God.
sir. Witnessing and observing a witness as they testify. And what can be done by this committee is to observe the audio recording of the president testifying to see whether it comports with the transcript or whether it reveals things about his capacity or his veracity or anything else that comes from his demeanor as he is interviewed.
Well,
now, how many times have we, in writing something, somebody else take offense at what we were saying, and then we come back, man, I was just joking, or I was being sarcastic there. And the other person didn't read the sarcasm in the written word.
I was just going to say, you can't hear sarcasm in a text. It's hard.
You can't hear bafflement in a transcript.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear the tone of voice.
And they've already admitted Biden has dementia, so I don't see what the big deal is. Sorry.
So, I mean, so if I'm questioning these transcripts and the veracity of the transcripts and whether they're accurate to what was actually said by the transcripts, especially since the lawyer testified that the reason why he decided that they should not prosecute Biden is because the man's mental capacity isn't there.
Mhm.
Remember that? That little
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
fact that come
Yeah.
out?
He's confident to run the country and to go for re-election, but he can't go to trial for anything he does because he's, incompetent.
So
I get it.
I mean, if you're reading a transcript provided by the White House, wouldn't you want to also hear the audio
Yeah.
as you go along with that written word?
I want to hear how they're translating problem into a coherent sentence because we heard him make those noises.
Yeah. And you know that a lot of those noises didn't get put into the transcript.
No, they put words instead of they did it their own little translations. We know.
None of the
We
things
know.
that you just mentioned are a legislative purpose. I'm yet to suggest any law that you intend to pass or thinking about in which the audio would make a difference over the transcript.
If a future DOJ concludes, well, let me ask you this question. What happened to Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon when they decided to defy a subpoena of the Congress?
We received 4 referrals, criminal referrals. 2 were prosecuted, 2 were not. The 2 that were prosecuted, as the published court opinions make clear,
what will happen to you if your decision is baseless?
May I continue to answer?
No, I know what happened. You know what happened too. Mr. Navarro's in prison. What will happen to you if your sole determination that you're not going to cooperate with this committee's subpoena is
with respect to the 2 people you asked, the court made clear they did not comply in any way, did not even appear, and second, there was no executive privilege. Neither of those is true in my case.
If a future Department of Justice follows the facts and the law, as you're fond of reciting, even to the point of prosecuting a former president, then if your decision is baseless, you should be prosecuted, right?
If a future, and I hope it will be the case, a future Justice Department follows the law and the decisions of the Office of Legal Counsel since the Reagan administration, when there is an assertion of executive privilege, the contempt statute is inapplicable. That's been the rule through every administration, including the Reagan administration. It even reached back to the Eisenhower administration.
Mr.
I
Attorney
hope
General,
they will follow the law.
Mr. Attorney General, you have resurrected the Foreign Influence Task Force, and there's a FBI spokesman recently told media, according to reports, that FBI has returned to facilitating the sharing of information about foreign malign influence with social media companies in a way that reinforces that private companies are free to decide on their own whether and how to take action on that information. A district court has decided that you didn't do that before. How are you doing that? How are you reinforcing that private companies have their own capacity to decide?
The case that you're talking about is now under advisement in the Supreme Court of the United States, and I'm not going to comment on any court matter, which the court may.
I didn't ask you to do that. I asked you to ask you how you're reinforcing it. That's what your spokesman said. You're reinforcing the private company's latitude. How are you doing that?
I'm not going to comment on what the district court said. We have the authority, as the Supreme Court just held last week, to persuade. We can't coerce. So we can provide information that Russia or China or Iran or North Korea is operating on a social media platform.
Why don't you do it in
public?
public?
We leave it to the social media to take it down.
Why don't you do it in public?
I'm sorry?
Why don't you do that in public so the public can see what you're doing?
Well, I'm not saying that we shouldn't also do it in public.
Well, I think
would hope
you should.
Everybody in this room would want to know if one of our adversaries is acting as.
Russia, 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 China, China, China.
Mm-hmm.
Russia hates Biden so bad that they are going to support Trump. China hates Biden
No,
so bad that they're going to support Trump.
I don't see that ever happening.
But that's what they're going to try to push.
Yeah, we know. Oh my God.
Oh, come on. Where's the good one at?
I am not commenting on that.
No, I
hear you. I know.
no, I lost. I had it and I must have accidentally closed the tab. Oh no, I'm mad at myself.
Okay, are you using just reopen the
Here
tab
it
with
is.
Fire?
Here it is.
Okay, there we
I
go.
found it. I found it.
Yay! I'm so happy.
Oh, so am I. Share this tab. Here we go. Now you just heard him say, all right, that the president going all the way back to Wilson has the right to determine something and protect it.
Okay.
Right? You just heard Garland say that
Yeah.
and refuse to turn it over to Congress.
Oh God.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney General, on May 15, 2024, you sent a letter to President Biden recommending he invoke executive privilege on audio recordings of his interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur. In this letter, you claim the precise concern is that executive privilege protects materials related to a closed criminal investigation where disclosure might hamper prosecutorial efforts in future cases. Is that correct? I think you stated that earlier.
Yes.
In this letter, you also wrote that you are concerned about the prospect of committees of Congress obtaining confidential records from Justice Department of criminal investigative files for the purpose of addressing highly politicized issues in public committee hearings. Is that correct as well?
Are you citing my letter?
Yeah, in
So
the
my
letter
that's
yeah,
correct. Yeah.
right. So let me go back. In the United States versus Mitchell during the Watergate District Court case, Judge Sirica held that by releasing portions of a subpoenaed recording in transcript form for publication, the president's claim of confidentiality and that privilege associated with it was no longer valid since the conversations were no longer confidential. You produced the transcripts to this committee, correct?
Yes.
And prior to producing the transcripts to the committee, they were leaked to the press. So based on Mitchell, which is still good law, the recordings are, in fact, no longer confidential, aren't they?
Can I respond? I'm sorry, that's not what Mitchell was about at all. Mitchell was, first of all, about transcripts created by President Nixon, for which there was plenty of reason to believe that they were not accurate. And
What was that? What was that? What was that he just said? Let's listen to this again.
Transcripts created by President Nixon, for which there was plenty of reason to believe that they were not accurate.
Now, can we believe that the transcripts, do you believe that those transcripts are accurate that we got from the White House on the her questioning?
I wouldn't know. I have nothing about. I don't know, man.
Do you trust them?
Of course not. I trust nothing from the government. Are you nuts?
Okay. I don't trust them either. Because I mean, we already know that that they've come out and revised his statement after he's given a speech.
Uh-huh.
They've come out and revised his statements as to what he said. Well, what he actually meant to say. This is what he actually should have said. This is what he meant to say.
Right, but it isn't what he actually said.
And that's what gets entered into the official records, not the actual verbiage of what he gave at that speech.
Right.
Now, they'll do the fancy little thing where they'll put them in the little boxes and the ellipses and everything else.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But they've still changed what he said in the speech.
Of course.
It's no longer an accurate translation. Transcript of what he said.
I mean, it is kind of a translation from dementia to, you know.
Yeah, you're right about that. So how can we trust this White House as much as they're trying to protect Biden and get him reelected? We're in election season.
Never trust your government, ever.
How,
Nobody should
how
ever
can
trust
we,
their government.
how can we trust them to give us an accurate transcript and translation of his interview if we can't hear the audio tapes to actually confirm what he said and how he said it? Hey, Joshua, good morning to you. Oh, Josh, that wife, I'm pregnant. Husband, hi, pregnant. I'm dad. Wife, no, you're not.
Oh, oh, that's horrible. I was waiting on something like that, but that's horrible.
Oh, that's oh man. Ah, that sort of reminds me of this video I just saw, and I hope like hell this was scripted because a lot of these videos, you see they're scripted. They're not real. Guy asked his basically a wife found out her husband cheated on her, and she took his mother's ashes and flushed them down the toilet.
Oh,
And when he asked her why she did it, she goes, "I wanted to hurt you like you hurt me."
okay. He cheated and she flushed. I'm not saying it's right. I'm withholding judgment till I know more about what the mother-in-law did to her.
The mother-in-law was dead.
Like, no, I mean prior to her death. Like, my mother-in-law was the best mother-in-law ever, and she couldn't speak a word of English, but we got along fine. And she would get on him. You got to treat your wife good. She's a treasure. Blah blah blah. And um, yeah. But if my mother-in-law were like some of my friends' mother-in-laws, yeah, I wouldn't have waited for him to cheat. I would have flushed it straight up. So I would have replaced it with cigarette. I would have taken up smoking just to be able to replace her ashes with cigarette ashes.
Whoa.
I don't forgive anybody. Okay, let's just say right there, so we're all clear on this.
So,
I
but
forgive. No.
anywho, back. See, this is where I'm calling the lion. This is where I'm calling the line. And we had AOC whining,
Oh my God, this bitch.
whining that the borders aren't open enough, and we got Merrick Garland here lying.
They're not like your legs, AOC. They're only going to stretch open so far. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up. I'm not a good person. I know. I'm not nice.
Oh, I never, my mind never would have gone there in a million years, Ramen.
That's the first place I go because I'm a woman.
And that was great. Now see, that is going to be something I'm going to keep that's going locked away in my brain as an insult forever now.
Oh no.
Oh.
And secondly, it had to do with the confidentiality of communications between Nixon and his staff. And once he provided the transcripts, the court said those communications were no longer confidential. That is not the allegation. That is not what we're asserting here. Here we're asserting confidentiality over the audio, not confidentiality, but protection of the audio in a criminal investigation, an interview, not a...
Okay, now, if the transcript has been released, how can the audio be protected? I mean,
yeah,
for a criminal investigation. See, that makes no sense. Seriously,
You'd
that
have to
makes no
explain it
sense
to
to
me
me.
because, yeah, I don't get it either.
Confidentiality over the audio, not confidentiality, but protection of the audio in a criminal investigation, an interview, not a staff meeting.
Okay, thank you. Let me move on.
But again, that makes no sense to me. The transcript, if it is accurate, has got everything that the audio has. So by saying
Right.
that there's something there in that audio that needs to be protected, that's
You're saying
telling
it
me
should
that
be
that
accurate.
transcript isn't accurate.
Exactly.
And I wish this man would have caught onto that clue.
I think he
But like,
does.
well, see, a lot of these guys, they write their questions down. They know they've only got 5 minutes. So, their mind's already on the next set of questions. Because they're trying to get all their questions in that 5 minutes.
Mhm.
On-
You
on-
start
May
commenting and they'll
15th.
drag their fake answers out for an hour. We've seen it.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've seen that 100 times.
Letter also relies on the argument that producing the audio tapes would affect the department's ability to obtain vital cooperation in high-profile criminal investigations. In particular, in investigations where the voluntary cooperation of White House officials is exceedingly important. Is it your testimony that a White House official would voluntarily cooperate in a criminal investigation only if the Justice Department promises not to release the audio recordings? It doesn't make any sense.
The longtime experience of the Justice Department is also reflected in the declaration that was filed under oath, is that witnesses want to protect the confidentiality of their communications with the prosecutors during these sensitive interviews. The
only person being interviewed here is Biden.
There's no confidentiality once those fucking transcripts are released.
Not if they're accurate.
Right?
That is the question here. If the transcripts are accurate, then what is it about the audio that makes it so important that needs to be kept on double super secret probation? That's the part that confuses me. And that's the part that I wish somebody would ask him.
The Cheney case, the Justice Department made the same claim, even with respect to FBI notes about interviews of Mr. Cheney and that special counsel. It's our view that we need witnesses to be willing to be tape recorded or audio recorded, and that they are going to be less willing to do that if they know it's going to be made public. In the declaration that was filed in court on Friday, the senior official stated that he knew of cases right now where people are unwilling to provide audio because they are worried about it becoming public. So the answer is yes, that is our view.
But if you're willing to release the transcript to public, then, and if it's an accurate transcript, it's still, that's where this all still boils down to. The way this man is tap dancing around here convinces me more and more every time I listen to him. And this is the 4th or 5th time I've listened to this. Convinces me even more and more that there is stuff hidden in the audio that did not make it to the official transcript. Now, maybe it's because I'm not watching the news 24/7, but I'm not hearing people discuss this in a broad manner. Every now and again, somebody will say something, but there's nothing there to answer the question, or the question that I've got.
Attorney General, have you listened to the audio recording?
I have not, because there's no reason for me to listen to it. in order to make the determinations that I had to make. We had the special
Wow.
counsel describe in detail his explanations for his determinations.
So let me, I mean, I don't understand how you can kind of sit before the congressional committee and kind of arbitrate what's indistinguishable from the transcripts if you're not even sure what's on the tapes themselves.
I'm not doing it on my own. I have.
So you're saying other people have listened to it within the department?
Within the department, and the special counsel has listened to it, and the special counsel had every interest in ensuring that the transcript that he produced in order to do his investigation would be accurate. Yes, that's right.
Okay, so let's go back. So in May 15th letter, you also attempt to distinguish the committee's reliance on the United States versus Nixon. Specifically, you claim that since President Nixon had released only edited transcripts of a portion of the meetings covered by the audio recordings, the Nixon case does not apply. But that was not what the court held regarding the enforceability of the special prosecutor's subpoena, was it? I mean, that doesn't match up right now then.
I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. That Nixon, it was well known that Nixon had edited the tapes, had edited the transcripts, and he said he had edited the transcripts. That is not what happened here. The special counsel, the FBI agents in the room, and the senior career official said that the transcripts matched the audio.
All right. Now, what was that he just said that okay.
That someone who had listened to it claimed that the transcripts matched the audio. Well, if they match, why can't we listen to it? I don't know.
Okay, but where now see, I did lose this article. Dang it. Okay, I've lost it. But there is a couple of articles out here that I found last night and this morning that show that okay, right here from Time Magazine.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. And Time Magazine is hardly a right-wing newspaper. Hardly right-wing. Okay. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry, that's not it. That's the wrong one. But they are talking about that the transcripts had been edited. That they edited out a lot of repeating of words and a bunch of and where he said and such like that. So, they did admit, there is an admission out there that they did but see, another thing here, and this is another thing that they've talked about, and I'm going to share this article here real quick. We're going to change real quick, make certain that it changed yet. Did the passage of time and advancements in audio and artificial intelligence and deep fake technologies only amplify concerns about malicious manipulation of the audio file. The audio recording is released. It is easy to foresee. It can be improperly altered, and the altered file passed off as a fake recording and widely distributed. So they're saying, well, there's too many people out there that can make deep fakes. I mean, we've seen the deep fakes of the Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the song from Little Mermaid.
And The Sound of Music. And you know what? There's already deep fakes of Biden out there. It's going to happen whether they release this tape or not. There's so much fucking footage of their out. It's unavoidable.
Right. So the deep fakes are already out there. And see, and
It's an invalid argument.
And whereas you used to be able to trust videos and audios
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, you can't trust
Can't.
them anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I'm very, I try. You've been around me long enough around my streams here. I use a lot of audio. I use
Yes,
a
you do.
lot of video,
Mhm.
but I try to always use ones that from Forbes, from the C-SPAN,
From a good
not
source.
not third-party sources,
Right.
because I you know I'm not ashamed to admit it, because if you don't admit it, then you're an idiot. You're lying to me. I've been caught a few times thinking something was real when it wasn't.
Mhm.
There was a AI news story going around a week or so ago about some guy shooting a cop's daughter at graduation because
I
that
saw that too.
cop killed his father or his brother.
Yeah,
His
his son.
right. The whole thing was a fake from the get go,
It sounded weird. It did sound weird.
and or the guy that was shot in a jewelry store robbery in Detroit. There was an article on that. Well, jewelry store robbery, guy gets killed. Okay, that sounds legit.
Yeah, it
All right.
happens.
Well, I went looking for other news articles on it. Could not find anything other than the one.
Oh no.
And as soon as I started putting questioning marks about whether or not that article was true, because, somebody getting killed robbing a jewelry store is going to make the news,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, and you only find it in one place, not others. So you've got to be, you've really got to be careful about what you're looking at anymore.
Yeah.
So I can understand why, that's not a totally illegitimate fear,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's it's illegitimate enough or legitimate enough of a fear to prevent you from releasing the audio files.
Yeah, I mean, you're not actually physically handing over a file, you're transmitting it. You'll still have the original copy.
Right. You still got your originals. And now though, think about this. They're so concerned about deep fakes. What's to say that the government's got more money than God?
Okay, you kind of warbled out on me. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
the government's got access to this deep fake technology. What's to say that they haven't deep faked the audio to make it sound better than what it actually was? That they haven't edited the audio using AI technology and deep fake technology,
Right.
to make it sound better. So again, how this isn't like the Nixon tapes.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Nixon tapes back in the day.
So the court reasoned that the audio recordings would be relevant to show, among other things, a criminal conspiracy and for other valid potential evidentiary uses for the same material.
In the Nixon case, yes, because there were parts of the transcript in which the conspiracy was disclosed of those communications, parts of the audio which were not in the transcript. That's not the situation here.
But y'all have already released the fact that you cleaned up, that the transcripts were cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know it though, Attorney General? We're unaware because we haven't heard the tapes. We don't know if they match.
Everyone had a genuine reason to
Time
believe
of the-
that those transcripts were not accurate. Here you have the special counsel, you have
I'm
the
the
FBI
gentleman.
agents in the room, and you have the senior career official in the department all comparing it and finding them to be accurate.
Garland, do you expect me to trust this FBI? The same FBI
course not.
that was spying on Trump and saying they weren't?
Dude.
You honestly expect me to trust this FBI?
Oh, I don't trust nobody. I don't expect you to, so hey, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but you see, he's telling us, well, trust us. Trust us. I can't trust you. I've caught you in too many. I've caught you in too many lies.
Just because somebody else, a different president, muffled up their evidence doesn't mean we will. We're the good guys.
Oh, my refrigerator is now 10 stops away.
Okay, that's progress.
The app is updated. That means I'll have time to take a shower when this stream is over. The wife wants me to make sugar cookies this afternoon, but I don't have any cream of tartar in the house, so I have to run and buy some cream of tartar.
Oh my God. That's the first time I've heard anybody refer to that as a food ingredient in so long. I'm not even trying to be funny. The only thing, you just reminded me of when my mom used to make lemon meringue pie.
Yeah, Josh, you're right. If they repeat it enough, it'll magically come true, or people will just, they'll gaslight everybody into believing them.
Uh-huh. Nope.
And then you've got people like Raman and I, who the more you say it, the less we believe you.
Right? My hearing is fine. I heard you the first 50, 60 times you said that shit.
But, we're just those crazy, lunatic, right-wing, bat shit crazies that believe in conspiracies and are full of hate.
Well, okay. They're wrong about the conspiracies, but they're not wrong about my hate. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of fun once you get used to hating people.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. Once you get used to it, you do kind of enjoy it.
This is my life now.
Crap! I've got 4 more here I want to cover, but Okay, now we're going to take a jump back in time. We're still talking to old Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland was up there. I think he was up there for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
So he, and not all the questioning had to do with the audio tapes. All right. So here we go.
Gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Mr. Attorney General, the public has seen through the comments I've made today about apparent obstruction of justice. They see that the article is looked off, and they need look no further than the treatment by the Department of former President Trump and current defendant Hunter Biden. I chair the subcommittee on responsiveness and accountability to oversight, and your office has gone a long way towards obstructing our efforts to investigate much of what we've talked about today. But beyond simply obstructing Congress, did allegations surface last year that senior Justice Department officials attempted to obstruct the criminal investigation into Hunter Biden's numerous alleged tax crimes?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Did you attempt to obstruct the criminal investigation into Hunter Biden's alleged crimes?
Absolutely not.
Now, see, he made a mistake here. He started off the question correctly, and then he changed it when he repeated it. Merrick Garland himself may not have obstructed, but we know that FBI agents did help obstruct some of these investigations. Not just into the taxes, but into the gun. I mean, and the gun purchase, and the finding of it in the trash cans, the retrieval of it from the trash cans.
Uh-oh. That's not how you dispose of a weapon.
After, when his girlfriend threw it away.
According to IRS whistleblower Joseph Ziegler, on October 21st, 2021, U.S. Attorney Leslie Wolf told investigators they would be in, quote, hot water, unquote, if they interviewed Hunter Biden's adult children. And IRS investigators were prevented by DOJ from interviewing Hunter Biden's other relatives, including the president's brother and sister, Hunter Biden's in-laws, ex-wife, and Beau Biden's widow. Doesn't this depart from standard investigative procedure?
You asked me if I obstructed. I don't know virtually any of the people you just listed, other than because they've been in the newspaper. Mr. Weiss has testified about this matter. Mr. Weiss will testify again when the matter is completed. He will write a report. You'll be able to examine him for 5 hours if you want. But I don't know the facts of this matter, and I don't intend to intrude on Mr. Weiss's investigation. But it is false that I in any way obstructed Mr. Weiss's investigation. That's just false.
Did the
And and I'm going to be on. I believe Garland. He personally did not obstruct. That's not saying that he doesn't know that he had underlings who did. That he had people who worked for him who did obstruct. The old wink and a nod.
I don't know. I mean, he might have a different definition of obstruct as the rest of us.
He is a politician.
I have sex with that woman.
He is a politician, and
it's all a semantics game these days. So.
Yep. I mean, when certain people can be meant to infer over half. Okay, that's semantics is there. Wordplay is a major thing in DC, especially during congressional hearings. But on this, I'm more likely to give him a benefit of a doubt that he personally did not obstruct. But like the old saying goes, sometimes a wink is as good as a nod.
Yeah.
And if somebody is doing something and you find out about it and you don't stop them from doing it, then they're taking that as tacit approval of what they're doing.
DOJ allow the statute of limitations to lapse on some of the most serious?
I've testified about this before. Mr. Weiss will have an opportunity to explain which matters he decided to bring, which matters he decided not to bring. And I don't know any more about it than that.
It's not that he decided to bring charges or not. He decided to allow statute of limitations to lapse on the 2014 and 2015 tax returns, even though prosecutors could have sought an extension. And in fact, defense counsel was willing to agree to extend the statute of limitations for these charges. Isn't that correct?
I don't know if anything you're saying is correct. Mr. Weiss will have to answer those questions.
Now, remember, in order to get Trump, they wrote a law. New York wrote a law to allow crimes, quote unquote crimes, to be brought out of the statute of limitations and made current.
Oh, sure.
Just so that they could get charges. That's this whole.
That's a very bad precedent to set, because
that's that woman that accused Trump of screwing her while she was standing up. E. Jean Carroll. That's how they got the E. Jean Carroll case. brought
Yeah,
back up.
like how many people have attacked this woman? Like she's not that good looking for everybody to just whatever.
You know, and then you know, the novel ways of getting these 34 charges against Trump. You know, novel rewriting of the laws that, you know, scared every other developer in the state of New York that Governor Hochul had to come out and pinky promise swear that that new reading of the law would ever be used against anyone.
Right. Never, ever, ever. Okay,
You know,
I'm gonna be right back. Somebody's at the door. I'll be able to hear
Okay.
you. You won't hear me.
All right. You know, so you know, there's so the Department of Justice has proven this past couple of years that if they want to go after you, regardless of how old the crime is, they've got ways of doing it. And I mean, the Department of Justice has got a 98 point, I keep hearing the number 98.2% conviction rate whenever the DOJ goes after someone. So there's that. You know, they don't bring charges that they can't win, but they can always bring a bunch of charges against you. You know, they can always stack up the charges. Excuse me there. I hope nobody heard that.
And I'm sure he will be able to when he appears before this committee.
It doesn't seem like you're aware of a lot that's going
That's
on in your
intentional with
department.
respect to Mr. Weiss's investigation. That's what an independent special counsel is about.
When did you
Attorney
appoint
General
special counsel?
doesn't
When did you
intrude.
appoint special counsel Weiss?
I'm sorry, say again.
When did you appoint special
I don't
counsel
remember the
David
exact,
Weiss?
I don't remember the exact date. It's a matter of public record.
Isn't it correct that this was after IRS whistleblowers like Mr. Shapley exposed numerous instances of wrongdoing, including allowing the statute of limitations to expire?
The appointment of Mr. Weiss has nothing to do with anything any whistleblower said.
The statute of limitations was allowed to expire before your appointment.
Some of the statute of limitations likely expired before I was appointed as Attorney General. I don't know the facts here. They have no connection to each other.
Oh my God.
So your claim that it should be, you can't comment.
Uh-oh.
So was that your groceries being delivered?
I got my crock pot.
Yay!
Yes. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Huh?
Make sure you get, I hope you got liners.
You know, I didn't think of that. Because I've had them before and I'm so used to like scrubbing out my crock pot. I forgot liners was a thing.
I swear, I love my liners, especially for my Instapot.
Okay, you know what? I have a lot of aluminum foil. I will probably line it with aluminum foil before I place my next grocery order.
But you know, order that box of liners to go go with them, because especially if you're making soups and stuff, or you're planning, you know, it makes life a heck of a lot
over
easier.
the weekend. I think Saturday or Sunday I'm gonna put a pork roast in and just let it sit while I clean house and do my streams or whatever. And whatever's left over is gonna be pork fried rice for Chinese food. So yay.
Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry about that. You know.
All right. No, that's not what I want to talk about. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this to you here. Now, you can buy them. You can buy them, or you can make them yourself.
Oh, okay. I would like to know how to make them myself. If there's,
they're called Birabons.
Oh, birria. Yeah.
They go in, there's nothing really but huge spice bombs
Yeah, they're
that,
meatballs.
that go into your crock pot.
They have them in Taco Bell now? Oh, damn. But yeah, I see this. I see this. Ooh.
So
5 hours? Damn.
that's, I've been, I don't do a lot of as much slow cooking as I used to.
Hmm.
Because of course, we don't have, it's just the wife and I. So, uh, I use the mini crock pot more than I use the big one.
Yeah.
I don't use the big 6-quarter anymore as much as I used to.
I'm only doing
And
this because my oven stopped. It isn't really working right, and I
right,
can't get over 280. And I want to make a pork roast, and I can't do that with like
but
that low temp. So
here
yeah,
you go.
here I
I
am.
just wanted I didn't know if
Thank
you knew
you.
about these or not.
No, I did not. I mean, I know there's variants on meatballs like um.
Okay,
Ask your Indian friend about koftas if you
I'm
haven't
going
had
to
those already.
post a link to this over there in private
Thank
chat
you.
for you so that
You
you
are
can,
awesome.
because they've
Oh
got
hell yes.
a link to her website where you can buy the spice balls themselves.
I'll make my own, but yeah, that looks good.
Yep.
I've already copied it. I'm putting it in Firefox now. Woo. But yeah, you know what? If you have never had koftas, ask your Indian friend about it because it's kind of like that. It's a little smaller though. They're little meatballs, and it's mainly a winter dish, and it's very spicy. And you're cooking them in a gravy, almost like a soup, but you put hard
Right.
boiled eggs in it too. Like the eggs are already cooked, already hard boiled separately, and you're putting those in there.
But now this is a Bira spice bomb. It's like your bathtub bomb, only instead of
Made
being
of
soap,
spice.
it's all spices. And I mean that would
Oh,
absolutely, that overspice anything I'd cook with because I don't use that much of it. I don't cook, a 6-pound roast anymore
oh,
because it would go
I
to
love my
waste.
roast though.
So
A roast would go to waste with you,
a 6-pound roast would.
dude. We have the. It's just me and my boy, so we have it for dinner. I'll cut up some and put it in something for lunch the next day, maybe ramen or something, and the rest of it is both pork fried rice and what do you call it? Sweet and sour pork. And I put the sweet and sour pork on the rice like you're supposed to. Yeah, nothing goes to waste in this house. Even if I have to like bag it up in a freezer bag and put it away for a few days, it all gets used. That's why I don't have chicken broth when I start out. I just cook the chicken for a long time with a couple of boxes of chicken broth. So yeah.
Oh, I've got I've well, I mean, I've told you I save all my carcasses and I
Yeah.
make up, and I always, about once every other month, I've got enough carcasses I can make up 4 or 5 quarts of broth. And I put it in Ziploc, I put it in my freezer bags, vacuum seal them, throw them in the
Yeah.
freezer.
I save
And
everything, yo.
then whenever I need a couple cups of broth, I've got Ziploc. I've got those freezer bags with 4 cups of broth in each bag.
I do save gravy if we have leftover gravy or broth or whatever. Yeah, I save that. I save.
Oh,
Okay, I can't save my chicken bones because those are usually soft by the time I'm done with the soup. But I'll save my turkey bones.
yep.
All that, the edges of my vegetables and the peels and the stuff we don't use.
Okay, so we got, which one is this? Okay.
I know. That's my daughter. Sorry.
That's all right.
She's all. We only have the one TV in the living room, so
Right. Your kid, you got kids in the house. I'm not worried about them.
my babies.
Yeah.
Yes, Princess. They don't share. You need to cut it up and then give me each a piece, and that's what they get. I'm sorry.
It's back the gentleman from South Carolina.
Mr. Chairman, I yield 1 minute to you, sir.
Oh, thought that was coming at the end. Thank you. I think the gentleman for Ely. Have you looked at, Mr. Attorney General, have you looked into who leaked the Dobbs draft opinion at the Supreme Court? As the judge.
Remember the Dobbs decision? That,
No.
basically is where the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Okay, there you go.
And the decision was leaked ahead of time. And the protesters showed up at the Supreme Court justices' houses, and the one guy showed up to kill the one justice.
Yeah.
Okay, so so what Jordan is asking is if the FBI investigated any of this.
I'm sorry. Has the Justice Department looked into who was responsible for leaking the Dobbs draft opinion at the Supreme Court?
Well, I believe the Supreme Court did its own internal investigation. They didn't ask us to look into that.
Yeah, but we don't know who did. I'm just asking, is that something that the Justice Department will look into?
I think if the justices of the Supreme Court refer the matter for investigation by the Justice Department.
Was anyone in the Justice Department involved in the leak of the Dobbs draft opinion?
You asked whether the Justice Department was involved?
Is anyone at the Justice Department involved in that leak?
I can't imagine how that could happen. That's an internal document within the Supreme Court. The Justice Department.
I'm just asking.
I would be stunned.
Okay.
I don't think you would.
Okay, Jordan, even though he's a gym teacher, he rarely asks a question he doesn't already know the answer to.
Uh-huh.
He's real good about that. He rarely asks a question that he doesn't already know what the answer is.
I'm just,
Tired.
it boils down to we investigated ourselves and found ourselves not guilty of anything.
Yes.
It's like the fucking post office, I swear.
Or the police department.
Yeah.
So, tired. The other day, the wife and I were doing laundry. And yes, I do say because even though I'm not allowed to actually wash the clothes, I do dry and fold and put away. And the wife uses those big golf ball sized dryer balls.
I've seen those.
Okay. And I'm
those
sitting
are
there,
for fragrance, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know she's got some that look like golf balls and some plastic ones that look like they got spikes all over them. So
I don't know. I just throw my dryer sheet in, whatever.
Anyway, so I pick up a pair of my underwear and go to fold it, and it had one of them balls in it. And I just sort of looked at the wife and said, "Dear, are you trying to tell me something that you think I need to have a bigger pair of balls or something?"
Oh my God! You know what? I'm not even gonna ask.
She just looked at me and said, "No, I just think you need more than two."
Oh my God! Why? Oh my God!
That's my wife.
I love your wife, but oh my God, that ain't right. Oh my God, she's fancy though.
But don't try to pull a stunt on my wife. She'll fire back at you in a heartbeat. She'll get you back. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I did that one already. Megyn Kelly got involved on the Hunter Biden gun trial the other night. And this is one of the few episodes of hers that I've watched. She's lost a lot of weight
Really?
since she's left Fox, and where'd she go? ABC or CBS after she quit Fox until she screwed up and over Halloween costumes.
Oh no.
But yeah, there's Megan Fox now. And she shed some pounds, especially up in her.
She's really super skinny, and it's not an attractive look for her. I'm sorry, and I know that's a hard thing to say, but she looks like she needs a sandwich.
Yeah, I definitely agree. She needs a sandwich.
I'm hoping
She's
she's not
got
sick.
she's got those uh, Celine Dion arms going here now.
And her face is all hollowed out.
So, but anyway, she's talking about the gun trial.
Oh.
And this is only about a minute, so it's not that much.
Looks like many dealers begging for drugs all around through and immediately after the so-called rehab. I mean,
I remember Hunter Biden. You got to fill out that form whenever you buy a gun, and you got to say whether if it asks if you use drugs, and if you say yes, you're not supposed to be able to buy a gun. If you're a drug user, you're not allowed to buy guns. So, and he marked no.
they have got him. I'm just going to show you a couple, okay? Because let's take some time to go. So first of all, well, here's April of for April 27th, April, May, and so on. Okay, he needs it ASAP. He's desperate for the drugs. June, July, you want 10 grams? Yes. Hold on. I'm going to get to the good stuff. Okay, now here we pick it up.
She's as bad as I am.
My readers, this is written like
I'm glad to see I'm not the only.
These things are so tiny.
She gets paid 1,000 times more than I do.
Here we go. 10/13. This is a day after he purchased the gun. He's texting back and forth with Hallie Biden, his dead brother's widow. These two by now are having an affair. He seems to be pretty clear with her that he is buying drugs. He's trying to find her. She's sending nice, supportive messages to him, and he seems obsessed with something else. Fast forwarding. Okay. Let's see. Okay. 10/13/2018. She's saying, "Why won't you answer my calls? Where are you? Are you with someone?" And he responds, "Yes."
Boy, that's awful controlling there for a widow, wouldn't you say?
What?
Or a girlfriend. Where are you? Are you with someone?
Oh, yeah. Well, they were involved. I mean, they were having an affair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess she realizes if he's cheating on his wife, he'll cheat on her too.
Yeah. When you hook up with a mistress, you create a vacancy. So.
Yeah.
Blacked out, who hangs at 7-Eleven on Green Hill in Lancaster. I'm now off at Maryland Avenue behind Blue Rock Stadium, waiting for a dealer named Blacked Out. His brother L is getting in the car now. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't wait around for dealers.
I'm sorry.
So, I mean, right there's the proof that he was on drugs.
Mm-hmm. Waiting for a dealer, yo.
When he went to buy that handgun. Now, it's like I said yesterday or the other day, Monday, when the trial started, when they first started all this mess. I am not. I do not believe that a U.S. citizen should have to prove that they have the right to carry a gun. You don't have to, other than having to show ID to show that you have the right to vote, and that is to prevent voter fraud. Okay. Because that is sort of time sensitive. Okay. You can't come back a year later and throw out 500,000 votes and oops, we put the wrong person in office. Let's do everything all over again.
Right.
Okay. But to tell somebody they have to be approved first before they can before they can exercise a right. At that point, is it really still a right? If you have to prove that you have the ability to exercise it. I mean, I don't have to prove that I can walk into a church and practice my religion. I don't have to
Right.
prove that I can stand on a street corner and protest,
Right.
hold a sign. I don't have to prove in advance that I can take pictures and post them or that I can, make commentary on news on the internet and attempt to persuade people to agree with me on political issues or social issues. I don't have to prove anything in advance.
Right.
Now, if I break the law after doing it, then the government can come and punish me for breaking that law. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm going with here, Josh. I don't like having to, I should be able to go into a gun shop and buy a gun. Now, if I
Right.
get caught with a gun and it's illegal for me to own that gun or to possess that gun, then punish me for it. But don't, and are you, you're not, if I wanted to buy a gun illegally, I know where I can go buy a gun right now. If I had about $800 in cash, I could go buy a gun right now.
Mm.
And all I'd be worried about is, did somebody else commit a crime with this gun and I'm going to get busted for it?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Has that gun shot someone else?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the only concern I'd have. I wouldn't have to be concerned about the government stepping in and telling the gun dealer, the gun person selling me that gun, no, don't sell it to them because I've got them on a list.
Mm-hmm. I don't
I
know.
don't like I don't like government lists.
Oh, you know what though? I think if a person I do believe businesses should be allowed to just not sell you something if they don't want to, though.
Oh, no.
It's private. I know what you're saying. I'm
I
just
agree. A business should have the right to refuse service to anybody they want to refuse service to. Absolutely. I don't like the government stepping in and telling the business that they can't perform business with me because I'm on a government list.
I don't know. I mean,
Deem me unworthy to purchase that product.
where do you draw the line though? I mean, there are mentally unwell people that will go and buy a gun and slip through the cracks. Do you believe they shouldn't
Again,
have to prove they're able to buy a gun?
the mentally unwell.
Okay.
Give me the numbers.
I don't have. I'm just saying.
But you see, Is it a large enough number of people out there who are so mentally deranged that they shouldn't be able to buy a gun that a reasonable gun shop wouldn't be able, I mean, wouldn't be able to tell that that person is deranged and not sell them the gun? Because an unreason, I mean, like I said, I know a guy that would sell, he would sell the slobbering person with one arm crooked up underneath his chin and neither eye looks in the same direction, and he hasn't been able to wipe himself in 10 years. And as long as he's got the green, he'd sell him the gun.
Okay. A relative of mine had a gun. He was fucking crazy. He used to tell me all the time, "Oh, I heard you getting up in the middle of the night to help my dad from choking to death. Yeah, I almost shot you. You need to be louder." Shit like that. That is not a person who should have a gun. I don't know whether he got it legally, not legally. He's not documented as a pedophile or completely fucking crazy. But there you are. He could, if you were just able to walk in and show someone your ID and get a gun, he'd be having one legally. He's a fucking whack job. Anyway, he's not the only one I know that's crazy though. So, my ex would have a gun if he were able, and we all know he tried to run me over with a car.
Right.
He's threatened to shoot me,
Well,
I
okay.
have a lot of crazy people in my life, basically.
My brother-in-law, my husband's deceased, or my sister's deceased husband. All right. He had sundowners.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay. And he also had quite a few firearms. Him and my sister both. When one evening, she came up to the bedroom and he sat there and pulled a gun on her and threatened to kill her. The next day, now during the day, he's back to his normal frame of mind. Sundowners, it's just that when the sun goes down, they lose all touch of reality.
Yep. They start walking around and shit. Yeah.
And doing crazy stuff. The next day, they took every firearm that they had in the house, and my sister, took them all and locked them up at my mother's house. She kept her 38 that she uses, or her 32 that she uses for her own self-protection. And she kept that either with her or in a lockbox that her husband could not access. Now, that didn't stop him from trying to grab a club. I mean, try to grab a cane and try to beat her to death with it.
Yeah.
That just stopped him from grabbing a gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's kitchen knives, there's clubs, there's 2x4s, there's bricks, there's his own bare hand. That's why he eventually ended up in a hospital.
And how sad it had to be so many attacks before he got treatment.
Well, it was a state-funded hospital. They had no choice. He was a danger to himself and everyone else.
Yes, he was.
And all the nurses and everybody else. They didn't put him in restraints or anything like that, but they did not go into his room. His room was kept locked after sundown.
Yep.
Nobody entered in their room in groups of less than 3. It wasn't even groups of 2, it's groups of 3 or more.
Oh yeah. That's what you need.
So,
They got that
Mike, I agree
superhuman
with
crazy
you.
strength.
I agree with you that there should be, I mean, any reasonable gun seller, FFL dealer, no, I'm not going to sell you this gun. Something's wrong with you. I'm not going to sell it to you. But that's not going to stop. It's like right now in England. England, is all but banned guns.
Yeah, like
But what have they
Australia.
got now? They got a damn knife problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To where, I mean, people, tradesmen are getting arrested for having pocket knives. Stuff that they use for their job.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-oh.
now, Josh, you're talking about, people buying drugs. I've said this before, I've got no problem with people that want to smoke marijuana. You want to smoke dope, that's fine. Smoke all the dope you want. Inject it up, do whatever you want with it. But you lose your driver's license.
Not sneezing, go out of here, please.
Because you don't have a right to drive. Driving is a privilege.
That is true, yeah.
And I don't want anybody that is high on drugs driving a 3,000-pound missile down the road. And then suddenly seeing spiders or something and freaking out or falling asleep. I mean, we got enough people to fall asleep on the road behind the wheel because they overexert themselves.
Or they're just old and,
I mean, I've been guilty of that. Too many damn times over, be up for 20, 30, 40 hours. Or driving. I was driving home from work. I had a 2-hour drive each way to work. I was driving home from work one night. It was 3:00 in the morning. Fog came in, and I mean,
oh my God, for a minute I thought you said frog. I was like, frog. And then it took
did
my
not
mind.
matter how bad it didn't matter what type of lighting you used. I could not see 20 feet in front of my car.
That's when you go 5 miles an hour.
No, I pulled over.
Okay, that's even better.
I pulled over to the side of the road. I made certain I was completely off the road, put my flashers on, cranked my seat back, and took a nap. I mean, what else am I going to do?
I've done that through thunderstorms, yeah.
It was too dangerous for me to drive. I got woke up by the State Highway Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to know why I was pulled over and sleeping on the side of the road. Well, by that time, the fog had lifted when they come by and woke me up. And I told them. I just told them exactly what it was. And
yeah, they're pretty cool about it.
I wasn't more than 30 feet from a railroad crossing.
Damn.
That I did not know was there. I couldn't see it.
Wow, you dodged
That's how bad that fog was.
Oh my God. You dodged all the bullets right there.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, that's fine. I need to see your driver's license and roll down the window and breathe on me so I know I don't smell no alcohol. Hey, I was willing to do that,
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't done anything wrong.
He ran my license real quick and handed it back to me and goes, you made a smart decision, but the fog's lifted. Can you head on down the road now?
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Exactly. You got to go somewhere. But, he was pretty cool about the whole thing. But I mean, the fog was absolutely horrendous. So I pulled over and went to sleep. I hated that. A 2-hour drive to work for 12 to 14 hours, then a 2-hour drive back home.
Man,
God, I hated that job. Got paid good, but man, I hated that job.
some things aren't worth the pay sometimes.
I was making $1,200 a week
Damn.
35 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
dude,
like I said, that was a good paying job.
you fuck. How many years?
That was about 30 years ago.
So you were probably already married?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I would have snatched you so hard.
I just
Nope.
gotten out of the service, so this was
Oh my God,
probably
spider.
about spider.
I'm losing the spider wars.
Oh, so
Sorry, keep going.
okay. Well, I don't have anything else here that I wanted to cover that desperately. I mean, we got the Hunter Biden stuff out of the way.
Fucking, if you don't get poisoned, you better drown.
Garland, if you can find, I can't. If you can find all 5.5 hours of Garland's testimony the other day.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Okay, torture yourself. Listen to his
It's all semantics and
mental
privilege.
gymnastics.
Yeah, it's privilege, yo. Everybody talks about privilege, but that right there, that's privilege. If you know what, if you haul me into the freaking sheriff's office and I'm saying I don't want to be recorded, they're gonna say tough shit talk.
Yeah.
How are you gonna say you can't listen to a recording? That's some bullshit.
And Tyre, man, he's all but guy. He's already got all my personal information. He's thrown me on every list he can, including the no fly.
Tyre, how you gonna be like that?
But this has been a 3-hour stream.
Holy shit, has it? I was having a
Yeah.
good time. All right.
Yeah. 2 hours and 58 minutes and 15 seconds as of right now.
I'm not gonna lie, I was all scared. I thought it was Friday. I
Oh,
was
no,
like,
no.
that's
That's
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, now watch tomorrow. I think it's Saturday.
That's tomorrow. But today there was a lot of stuff I wanted to cover today.
So we can cover it. Whatever you miss, we cover it tomorrow. I'm cool with that shit.
No, I'm not. But tomorrow's Friday, right?
We can have fun making fun of politicians on Friday. I mean, we make our own fun. As long as it's all in good spirits and calling AOC a hoe bag and just having fun with it, I'm down.
Oh, old donkey lips. Okay, let's see. It went from 13 to 10, and it's been at 10 ever since.
Maybe wait, what is it? Maybe they're delivering something big that has to be installed. We're not counting installation time on some of this stuff.
Well, I tell you, Home Depot with their charging installation fees.
Yeah, I know.
It's $25 to deliver it to your curb. Okay.
Wow.
If you want it delivered to your threshold, it's $80.
Jesus.
If you want it delivered to the room, it's $100.
I never heard of any of this shit. This is crazy.
Yeah, I just found this out when I bought this refrigerator. And since it's going into my garage, I'm hoping that they'll let me borrow their dolly to take it the extra 15 feet into the garage.
You know what? I would have bought a dolly from Home Depot, used it for that one thing, and taken it back.
I've got a dolly, but I've forgot to take it down and get the airs pumped up.
Oh,
It's got 2 flat tires.
that sucks.
The wife flattened the tires and didn't tell me about it until last week, and I forgot to
You know, if you
take
get on
care
the
of that.
screen, you might have another hour, considering how long it's taken to deliver all this stuff. You might still have time to pump those tires.
Pump them up, pump them up.
Pump up the
It
tank, pump
wasn't,
it up.
wasn't there a rap song, Pump It Up? Some woman
Pump
talking
their,
about getting her vajayjay all pumped up.
I don't know. There was pump up the jam, pump up the volume. I don't know about that other one though.
But anyhow, well, now it's gone over 3 hours and a minute. So
Yeah, you need to hurry up and get that dolly out there.
anyway, any words of wisdom before we lock this thing down there, Ramen?
Yeah, if you see one spider in your house, you set that shit on fire, and then you search your entire house, pull out the furniture, the dishes, everything, leave nothing unturned. Because I won the battle, but I'm losing the fucking war here up in here. One of these days, y'all are going to hear me for a week, and then you're going to see a news report about a woman hanging from her ceiling in a cocoon, in a spider web cocoon, with a million spiders coming out of her empty eye sockets, and that'll be me. I'm telling you, I'm losing. Just trying to swim into the puddle. No.
I'm trying to remember the name of that movie.
Are you thinking of arachnophobia?
They found a bunch of people wrapped up in cocoons.
Well, Aliens done that, but maybe I didn't see arachnophobia.
No, I'm not talking about the movie Cocoon.
Oh no.
So
yeah, they also bite the fuck out of you, Joshua. My ex, and I'm kind of not sorry, but he was in the hospital for 2 weeks. It was the most peaceful 2 weeks of the year so far. He had spider bites, and he had to go to the hospital. Okay. There is one type of spider. They call it an attic spider. I forgot what they call it, but it's got a really tiny body, and it looks like a daddy long legs. If you thought about what a daddy long legs would look like, and you've never seen one, those I love. They stay up in the corner, in the top corner of your room, and they don't bother you. But the next day, you'll see like a pile of dead ants if you got anthills in your yard, and they're coming in the house. You'll look, and you'll see that little spider sitting up there, not bothering nobody. But this is not that spider.
You see, when we see Ramen next,
I'll be streaming from the nut house.
that'll be her.
Oh my god! What the hell movie is that?
There'll be Ramen.
Please don't. You're fucking jinxing me, man. I thought you were my friend. This is horrible. I gotta report you now. Words can hurt as much as a fist.
I'm thinking this is the Power Rangers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, Joshua. We never had fire ants. We were lucky, but we did. I like those little spiders when I was living in the house, and I told him, "Don't kill the spiders; they're killing the ants." Because our yard guy would mow over the ant hills, and they would come in our house. They had a trail; it was a straight line from the yard up our wall through our window. So I told him, "Don't kill those spiders," and this mofo went and told the exterminator to kill all the spiders, and he did. Next thing you know, we got ants, like piles of living ants looking for stuff. And he's like, "Why do we have all these ants?" And I'm like, "I told you not to kill them." He never listens. He's like, "Well, I didn't know it'd be like that."
Well, you heard about the woman that got arrested, and the cops, when they put her to the ground to handcuff her.
Oh no!
They put her face first into a fire ant mound.
Oh no!
And her attorney stopped counting at over 300 bites on her face, neck, and upper chest.
No, I
And
mean, I
she,
could see you initially doing it by accident, but keeping her there long enough to get 300 bites, that's delivery.
oh no, she's sitting there screaming that the ants are biting her, and the
Yeah.
cops are keeping her there.
Yeah.
And all charges against her, I believe, have been dropped. And
Oh, yeah.
she, of course, is suing everybody and their brother.
Yeah, I would too. Because, by God, they were going to make her stay where they put her. They weren't going to, they were in charge.
Yep.
Holy
Let's
shit.
see. One of the lawyer groups that I watched, I want to say it was the civil rights lawyer out of West Virginia.
Okay. I think I heard something about this, but I didn't watch any videos on it. I've been watching the Madeline Soto stuff since that was nearby, That's like in our backyard.
I'm trying to find a picture of her. But yeah, I want to say he's a civil rights lawyer. He's got his own YouTube channel, of course, and she, I mean, okay, here we go. Oh no, it's a Texas woman.
Okay.
Here it is. Because, yep, there's the picture. Okay. There we go. Here's a picture of her after she there you go.
Oh man, that looks like measles. That looks so fucking painful.
Her ears, I mean,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Even inside her nose.
Yeah, I was just going to say inside of her nostrils. I'm surprised they didn't get her eyes.
She probably closed and snapped them shut as soon as they start going for the face.
Her lips.
I'm surprised I haven't seen any on her scalp so far. I'm really surprised.
7 minutes later, Rogers is face down on the grass, hands cuffed behind her, yelling, "Answer on my face." Claims that the officers flung and slammed her to the ground, hogtied her, and buried her face in the fire ants for 3 minutes.
That sounds about right. I'm wondering, I'm seeing it's like in her hairline.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how far on her scalp they got.
Well, there's the
There you
picture.
go.
There's a picture of her being buried in those. That's from body cam.
So why would they slam her face into it then? Oh, they're probably
Well,
crawling up from her chest though. They're probably not even. Yeah.
that's not good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Jesus, it's
They
fucking awful.
should have. I've said this before. I grew up in a family of cops. My dad
Okay.
was auxiliary police. He worked every ball game, baseball, football, basketball game, every parade. He worked them all. 6'3", 200 pounds, 60-inch chest, 40-inch waist. The
Damn.
the man was a beast. And he my uncles are cops. Uncles on both sides of my family were police, chief of police, chief of detectives, patrol officers. So I mean, I grew up with police. I'm not a cop hater,
Okay.
I've grown to be a hater of a bunch of cops. You know what I'm saying?
I've had some really bad experiences with police, and not because of anything I've actually done, which is the worst part of it.
Right.
So, yeah.
I
They
mean,
sided with my ex-husband multiple times during clear evidence of abuse. So I'm not crazy about most cops.
Josh, that is okay. Don't resist. You won't be put in that. That is so wrong. All you have to do to be thrown to the dirt like that by not all police. All right. Understand, I'm not saying all police.
Right.
All you got to do is say, why are you wanting to arrest me? What have I done wrong? And that's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
All
There's
it,
too many videos out there of it too. So
yeah, it doesn't take much.
cop will put his
And
foot in the door and you'll say, "Get off my property, move your foot from my door. I'm not letting you in." And even you're not pressing the door on his foot, they'll bust that door open and throw you down
yeah,
and say you tried to assault them.
you know, you did assault them when as soon as that door touched their foot.
Yeah. Even though they stuck their foot in a door that was barely open.
Right.
Yeah.
Then that you assaulted that police officer.
That is true,
So
Mike.
you're right. Context is important, but unfortunately, there's too many cops out there that
Their body cams malfunction. Yeah.
And while we had that one just up in Walton County not too long ago, planted drugs in over 30 vehicles.
Oh my God.
I mean, it wasn't until his own body cam picked up on him planting drugs in this one woman's truck that he finally got caught.
And now all of his cases need to be reviewed now, probably.
Yeah. And he
I
fought
mean,
tooth and nail how he never planted no drugs, no nothing.
He just happened to find drugs in everybody's cars.
Right.
Okay, Josh, it depends on if you're looking for it. I mean, if you're looking for police illegal detainment or whatever, there's enough of it out there. I mean, it
Right.
really depends on if you're looking for it specifically. So,
What, Josh? All right, let me find his channel. Okay. Oh, that's another channel that I like watching. Don Shipley, former Bud's channel. He's a Stolen Valor cop or Stolen Valor. He's a Naval SEAL, retired Navy SEAL. And he is amazing with the Stolen Valor cases. Okay, maybe it's uncivil rights.
are you stealing my phone?
Yeah.
Uh huh. Your
No,
mom's
no.
old phone, not your old mom's phone. No, mom's old phone. Yeah. Yeah. Fine. It's okay.
No, it's not uncivil law. That's another guy. I follow a lot of lawyers.
I used to. I stopped doing it because I get frustrated.
And
I already know the world is unfair. I don't need to hear it all day, every day. Shit.
oh, I forgot Scribe had this channel, Crime Light.
Scrub?
Yeah. Scribbles, he's got a Crime Light channel with absolutely no content on it. He's got 38 subs.
Link me. I'll sub if I haven't already. Link me.
There's nothing there.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, it's literally there is nothing there.
I'll take your word for it. I thought, it was an active channel the way you're rolling.
No, I forgot he started that channel and then never did anything with it.
I've done that. I actually have channels that are waiting on the sideline because I've had incidents with you too. Oh my god. This is like my fourth channel now, I think.
Why is it I can't remember what the guy's channel? Okay, Josh, I will find his channel and I will make certain I link it in my next on my stream because I will get a link to it here soon, sometime later on today. Okay. But yeah, I'll find that channel easily sometime this afternoon because he'll post something that will show up. And we'll give it to us. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. We're now at 3 hours and 20 minutes.
It's been a good 3 hours and 20 minutes though.
Yeah, it's been this is the kind of stream I like now where we're just BSing.
I normally wasn't. You know what? I said this can't be right because this title doesn't look right for a Friday. I don't do political stuff. I stay away from it and just listen mostly. But I'm glad I came
You
in
got
today.
involved with it with me today.
I'm glad I came in today.
And I thank you because it it's always nice to have a second voice there.
Thank you. I'm glad you tolerate me for this because I don't know jack about politics. You know that. I don't follow it.
The fun thing about it is a lot of my issues with it doesn't take knowledge about politics. All it takes is common sense.
That is true. But there are times when you do a stream and you know everything about the people up there talking and you know about how certain laws are and everything, and your military background is a part of it. I just don't have that experience. So I'm happy to sit in the audience and just chill.
Holy crap, Josh. Are you serious?
What happened? What happened?
7 months in jail for petting a duck in a park when somebody accused him of beating the duck to death.
See? There you go.
False witness on battery charges put him beat him in court against camera footage.
You see?
Wow.
Okay. Were you arrested while it was going on or were you summoned later? And that's really none of my business and it's not the point, but it was because it's one thing if you're right there and petting a duck and Karen comes running up screaming about you're hurting the ducks and all the police officer would have to do is check the damn tape and see, oh, nothing happened. Move along, bitch. Oh, so they probably got you after it happened. After nothing happened, I mean. Somebody was after your ass. This was not random. Somebody was looking for you. I don't believe in coincidences. Ever. Just like I think my ex planted these fucking spiders in my house before he got bit. And it serves him right.
I'll tell you a good lawyer. Another lawyer one I like watching is Nate the Lawyer.
Oh, I've seen him a couple of times.
I like him. He's fun to watch. Because he does all kinds of videos. Right now, he's really on that crazy ass mayor that spent a couple $1 million. the super mayor Dunning or something like that.
Not the one that told the whole board of education they had to quit or he was going to have them thrown in jail.
No.
That guy,
Oh,
right?
that board of education. Yeah. He
Yeah,
told them to resign under pornography charges for what they were putting in
putting in the schools.
the school library.
Yeah.
Now this. Let me open a link here and share it. Get past the ad.
I fell in love with that guy this morning when I saw that clip. I'm not going to lie.
Pause that. Share it. And this mayor here.
Please be quiet when people are speaking so we can hear whatever they want to talk about. And if you are disrupted during a meeting, you will be removed. You cannot disrupt a meeting, guys. We're here to conduct business. So thank you so much for listening. All right, go ahead. Who's your first person for public comment?
This is for the mayor. Per our last conversation at Dunkin' Donuts, you asked me, could you talk to me? I allowed you to talk to me. And Madam Clerk, I want it on record today that Tiffany Henyard can never, ever, as long as she stay black, approach me and ask, can she talk to me, because all she do is lie. And she know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're not going to understand until they put those cuffs on you. You're not going to understand it. You don't care. But
Yeah. Tiffany Henyard, out of Dalton, Illinois.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
On to you.
It is a shame that we, the public, can't ask you anything about the BMWs, the Range Rovers, all of that. It's like you're keeping all of that hidden from the taxpayers, and we pay for those.
So it's time for another Tiffany Henyard update because things are falling apart fast.
Yeah, this town hired Beetlejuice, Lori Lightfoot, to come in and do an audit on their mayor, and they're paying Beetlejuice $400 an hour.
No, they needed to hire a forensic, what do you call it? They have forensic financial experts or whatever. They needed to hire one of those, not that bitch. She failed. She failed at her one fucking job, okay?
Yeah.
And no. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh no. That Tiffany Henyard story. If you haven't,
I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing it at all.
Oh, then you need to go to Nate's channel. Okay.
Well, give me a quick recap. What is she accused of doing? Embezzling funds for her own vehicles, or?
She took the city's credit. First of all, she's getting paid $200,000 a year.
Okay.
All right. She holds two jobs, county supervisor and mayor. And between the two jobs, she's getting paid over $200,000 a year. She took the city credit card and flew to Las Vegas. Yeah.
Was there a crime festival in Las Vegas she needed to attend? I mean,
she had got 24-hour protection by the police. One cop drew so much overtime that he evidently was only off duty 16 hours over a 2-week time period.
Holy shit, that can't even be physically possible.
Right.
Unless he's on crack.
Yeah, there is so much crookedness.
She needs to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she did some fundraisers, and the money for the fundraisers are not exactly certain where they went. Yeah, she is. They did a recall on her. She was recalled. she fought the recall in court and won. Because the city did something, they missed a step in the recall process.
And you know somebody did that on purpose.
So, but
Somebody's on the
yeah,
payroll.
look up Nate the lawyer. Here's a link to that channel, to that specific
I used to be sub to him, but yeah. I did like him.
Nate puts out some good stuff. He really does. I like him. I like his stuff a lot. And you've heard me refer to Honor Your Oath with Jeff Gray.
That one I don't recall. I do remember.
He's the guy who stands out in front of town halls and such with the sign, "God bless homeless vets."
Oh.
And he gets he's been arrested a half a dozen times just for standing out on a sidewalk with that sign. And needless to
How could you be arrested for standing outside of a building meeting? Like, you're on public property. You're not doing anything. You're just standing there.
Okay, Josh, I found that it's this. I was right. It was the civil rights lawyer, not civil rights lawyer. Josh, here's the link to the guy that I want you to watch his videos. But yeah, Jeff Gray, his web channel is Honor Your Oath. He's a retired truck driver. And he's a fat old man that goes and stands in front of City Hall or bus terminal or the tourist.
Oh man.
The Welcome Center for Tourism. Or he'll stand in front of a restaurant on the sidewalk. Okay.
That's crazy.
All to the public. And he'll stand there with his sign that says, "God bless homeless vets." The next thing you know, the people are calling 911 saying he's out there panhandling and roughing people up and everything else. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I don't understand why police do not charge people for making false 911 calls.
They need to start, especially when it's obvious that they knew.
Right. When it's obvious that the call is fake or over exaggerated.
Yeah. I've had false police complaints so many times in the past 3 years. And I know why. I know one of the people that's doing it, and I can't prove it because they're anonymous. They need to stop being fucking anonymous. I had a fake CPS complaint lodged against me, and I went out and talked to them. And then I brought my kids out and talked to them. They're like, "Can we come in?" "No, you cannot come in." "Why?" "Because you cannot come in." And they talked to my kids, and they talked to me, and they left. And I said, "I want to know who did this." And they're like, "Well, the case is still open." I said, "When the case is closed, I want to know." When the case got closed, I called them, and they were like, "Oh, it was an anonymous complaint. We don't know." So all this bullshit I went through.
Yeah.
And no names attached.
Well, one of the things I've had to really try, and it took me showing the wife the videos, that I don't care why the police ever show up to the house. Talk to them through the Ring video. Talk to them through the Ring. That way it's recorded. Or open the side window there next to the front door and talk to them through the window.
Man, I don't even have a ring. I got 2 locks and a chain. And I keep it on. And when the cop came to me that one time and I didn't know who it was or what they wanted, I'm like, officer, what's your name? And they, okay, what you want? And then they're real out. Can we come in? No. What do you want? And I was like, okay, well, you have a nice day. And I'm going to go call the sheriff's office so I can find out what's going on since I can't understand you. They got so clear real quick. And all of a sudden, they could understand me too.
Yeah.
And they said, are you so-and-so? No, nobody here lives by that name. Do you have children? I said, ma'am, there's nobody living here under the age of 18. And they said, okay, we got a call about toddlers running around. I'm like, there's no toddlers on this floor. You need to go downstairs. And it was have a nice day, and they left. But yeah, no, I don't open my door anymore ever, unless it's somebody I know. Fuck them. Once they got that door open, and the one time I opened my door ever, I had my chain. So yeah, they can't put my chain is so tight they can't put a foot in there. It's just a teeny tiny lock.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Well, there's I've been tempted to buy. I've my front door to my house is a solid steel door.
Right.
After the hurricane came through and I had to have my door replaced, I just went ahead and bought a solid steel one.
That makes sense.
Went ahead and paid the extra couple $100 out of my pocket, but it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the deadbolts and such on it. And I got rid of the standard hardware that came and put in the massive 13-inch screws, wood screws through them to hold everything in place, so that stuff doesn't get knocked out. But there's a company now making a you can see it's something similar to it on some hotel doors, but it's a now I can't find. I've been looking for a picture of it here for a couple minutes. It's an indoor. It's only good. You can only use it if you're in the house, because there's no way of opening it from the outside.
Okay.
But it's like a 8-inch brace that swings over in front of and on the inside of your door to keep it from being forced open.
Like putting a chair under the doorknob.
Right, but this thing it actually mounts to the
I've seen stuff
wall
like that.
itself.
I should get that. No, I'm not gonna get that.
I've been sort of looking into that. Of course, I'd have to figure out what I do with my door framing because I'd have to cut out the framing around my door. Or
They'll probably do it
that
for you
thing
if
would
they're
go,
installing it.
where that would go to install it. But man, that would really make the wife feel a lot safer to have that set up.
Yeah.
Because it literally drops down like 3/4 of an inch into the socket.
Honestly, I should probably look at something like that at some point because our neighborhood's starting to go down a little bit.
But okay, now we're creeping up on 3:35. I gotta go, people.
Man, you gotta go. We did our okay. Last word of advice.
We can finish up this tomorrow on the fun stream.
Don't open your doors. Not even with a chain. Don't open your doors. The cops can say they smell something suspicious and bust open your door. Do not open your doors. There you go. That's all I got.
Y'all have a good one. Enjoy. Be with the ones you love. Love the ones that you're with. And we all love ramen. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.